everyone. Welcome back. Let's have a bit of a recap that I totally didn't write beforehand, right before this call. Last session, Alice, our mysterious stranger wearing a black mask, who looks so much like someone the group knows from back in college, had a rather intense outcome happen to them, courtesy of Mara. While being questioned and not providing the answers the group was looking for, Mara decided to use the voice on them. However, due to a critical failure, she achieved her result, but the emotional state of submission is now permanently afflicted on Alice. She wants nothing more than to submit to Mara, help Mara in any way she can, and do whatever Mara asks of her. Ostensibly, Alice is broken at the moment. The party split up into 3 groups. Ava went off towards the mechanics shop where she met up with Gideon and sort of realized Gideon is not a nice guy. In fact, he's rather pompous and full of himself, while Gadget is rather wholesome, kind, and terribly misunderstood. Camille went off to the living quarters to go fetch Red. On the way there and back, she ran into someone who looks and sounds exactly like her husband Michael from the real world. Camille did not talk to them, but noticed in the game this version of them is kind of like an idealized take on them, heroic and stoic. As for Mara and Yang, you followed Alice, who led you inside the Crystal Tower, where all the guards saluted her, and some called her Lady Alice. And seeing as she's under full submission, she was more than willing to explain everything about herself to you without any sort of qualms whatsoever, which, as the GM, I love that. That was great. She also ostensibly kind of had a magical girl transformation moment of sorts that revealed that the other die she has on her outside of the D20 is a D6. Ava, Yang, and Mara, you learned that Alice has been here for over 100, well, and Camille as well, you learned this too, but you've learned that she has been here for over 100 years. She fought alongside heroes named Kevin, Mikey, Polly, and Eden in a final fight, a fight against a foe that, from her description, looked supposedly like someone like Phoenix. When she dealt the killing blow to this person, it caused something to happen that resulted in the 4 of them disappearing and only leaving Alice and Mission there. And then slowly but surely, as the weeks went on, the lights up in the sky got brighter and brighter until only daytime existed. Fallen started eventually popping up throughout the world. And as for the ethereal Zoe in the sky, or Aether, as she's called it, even though you also found out Aether has apparently been a cover for Alice, as she and Mission were worried that if any word had been found out about what Alice did in that final fight, they're pretty certain Alice would not be standing in front of you right now. Sightings of Zoe have been popping up over time, which for Alice comes across as a bad omen, and they're not really sure what to make of this, especially as it looks like an extremely close friend of hers. And we pick up where we last left off, which I get to say again, one of my favorite things to say as a storyteller: multiple things happen at once. Ava, Edie goes off. Edie's always scanning. It is just a feature of Edie. She maybe doesn't signal that to you as much as she probably could, but she's always doing that. And the 2 things she picked up for you is there is a computer terminal of sorts in the room adjacent to the one you're in with all the books in it. And then she cheekily gave you a full 3D colored loadout of what Alice's gun is, which is a 1-for-1 exact replica of Jinx's pistol from League of Legends. For Mara, you ostensibly told Alice, like, yes, we're those people that you knew 100 years ago, or rather, we're the people you knew from real life, to which currently you are holding on to them because they have completely buckled, because the reality of what you said, even though they're kind of under submission and maybe it's up to interpretation, but I feel like the reality of what you've told them has hit them clear as day, and they are visibly shaking. Their breath is extremely not like consistent. They feel like and look like they're about to have a full-blown panic attack. And then Camille opens the door with Red behind her, and that's where we pick up. And Camille, you see Mara holding on to ostensibly the same face you saw earlier, but as I described last session, their appearance has changed where they're now kind of ostensibly wearing a light blue T-length dress with an A-line tully skirt stitched all throughout it. The attire is floral embroidered lace and applique. She wears white gloves and white heels that fit over stockings depicting imagery and elements from Alice in Wonderland. Think Regency Alice with a sort of, it's a little over the top. And I am going to say I don't see her at the moment. I see Mara blocking the view of it. So I'm just kind of looking at all of you as I enter and wondering what the staring is because I'm confused.
What's going on? Is that?
And
red.
That's good, and I do this, and as Mara says that, she kind of like turns and she's like, Alice, I need you to stand up. I can't hold you forever.
I'm gonna say her breathing is kind of mellowed out. She's heard what you said. You can tell when you look at her, there are tears at both corners of the eyes, but she nods her head and just stands up, and she doesn't look past you. She just looks at you and is still having that, as you kind of said this last session, and it was great to watch on a replay of it because it was the funniest thing I ever heard, having that very Hook moment of just looking you in the eyes and just completely in disbelief that you are Eden. And then looks at Ava and being that exact look of being like, oh my God, you're Mikey. And then looks at Yang and is 100% certain you're Kevin because, as you said, you look like Kevin. Why would you not look like Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Camille, though, you haven't fully caught her view yet, but yeah. I still have not seen her yet.
Yeah, Yang, can you catch Camille up?
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's not really standing entirely, and I'm still like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
And with that, because I feel like this is a fun thing for each of you to describe one by one, what thoughts are running through your head right now? As all four of you kind of realize, like, you have someone here you haven't seen in maybe 10 years. I leave that up to interpretation, by the way. If you feel like you've kept in touch with them and have seen them outside of the 10-year gap, by all means, please say that. I'm not dictating that.
That's kind of my question.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's my main question.
Because I'm like, how long have we not known that she existed in the real world? I mean, Mikey, like, canonically is kind of like kept a social eye on everybody, So it's like,
okay, well then I will go first then because Mara is like trying really hard to like get her to see, like, hey, like. I know, like, she's just like in her head, she's like, I know this is like really hard, but like this means something else is going on, like something else happened and she doesn't know what happened, but she knows like for Alice to be here, that means somehow she got here either on her own or she got here in a different game. And so for her, she's like, okay. And that's the thing, Mara feigns the interest of keeping in touch online, which is why she knew nothing about Camille's mother, knew nothing about Camille at all, really. And so she's just kind of like, in her head, she's like, it's not that big a deal, but like, get up. Like, this could be, you can get out of here. Like, that's what she's thinking. And she's trying to be like, come on, and that's it. Like, she's not thinking about anything else. Like, she knew nothing about Camille having a husband or a partner, like none of that. So for her, she's just like, I will say, not willfully oblivious, but probably that very much like that ignorance oblivious. Like, she's just like, I don't understand.
In my opinion, like, for all of you, you can dictate too, like, how much you knew this person, like what the friendship level was, whatever you want it to be. That is entirely your decision. by all means.
Okay. I would say that Yang's feeling right now, like, I mean, I don't think he had very much interaction with Alice. But I'd say that because he is on an anticipation level 4, which is pretty outstanding, if I may say so myself. But I if I may, I'm gonna do a little tiny flashback because
Oh, by all means.
the last time he felt this level of anticipation was back in the day when we were playing the game, and it was when Kevin had mustered up the courage and was like I'm finally gonna confess my feelings to Polly. Like that was when he felt that same sort of feeling. And maybe when Camille comes in through the door with Red, like Yang
Stars
is
align.
exactly. It's like, wait, when did I feel this last? And then
Mm.
he remembers. And so he's kind of standing there in just like a state of like, oh no, uh-oh. I don't know how to deal with this right now.
And I will add that any roll you have that comes up next, you have advantage on it because of the flashback.
Yes,
And I
thank
will
you.
add one element to this because I've been thinking about this for a bit. Obviously, you feel that level that you do on an emotional scale. It's very high. You also feel it from Ham. And maybe for the first time, Ham's emotional scale or state actually scares you a little bit because it's one of those. Ham is way too interested in what's going on right now. And it's the type of interest where it's like, I shouldn't be this fascinated about literally watching a possible train wreck about to happen. But Ham feels that level of being like, oh, this is exciting. I can't wait to see what happens next. But it's
Right.
exactly as you said. It's like, oh, I don't know how to react to a situation like this. But also, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ava or Camille? Same question I've asked in terms of Alice.
Yeah, I think for Camille, there was definitely like a sort of almost like a desperate need back when they were playing the game to latch on to this person, to Alice as a friend, as they felt so like um or desperate, I guess, to sort of find belonging and a place within this group. And so, even as the group sort of split up and drifted apart, Camille would, for a time, sort of reach out on social media, speak to them, keep up with what they were doing. But I think, sort of, as Polly's life uh, dragged on and sort of went down the path that it did, and she sort of lost a sense of connection to the way that she felt while she was playing these games back in college. I think that her attention towards Alice and her interest and sort of actively keeping up with everything would have waned and eventually just gone away, and she would have lost touch completely sort of within the last 5 years or so, I'd say.
I will add Proserpina is not at all present at the moment. Very quiet.
It's her game.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Ava for sure, like, we've talked about before, just kind of keeps up with what everyone was doing. And if this was someone that was in our gaming group and all about it, like she would have kept an eye on their social as well. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would kind of depend on Alice's like personality if there would have been any like back and forth there. But one would like to know when I saw her drop off of the social sphere. But in the general current time, like in this moment, Ava is just feeling very like numb. I think like everything that has happened, it just all keeps like boiling over. She's been pissed so many times. Everything's weird. Nothing makes sense. On and on and on. Like she just had this like confrontation of like seeing what Gideon is like and how he was acting and how that was very much her in the real world, and this like confrontation with Gadget that very much just like proved just that like ick that Mikey was like holding inside, that like everything has come to this just like not even a crash of emotions. Like she doesn't know what to feel in this moment. So there's like no surprise anymore. It's just like, yeah, this would be happening.
Mm.
I will add, because you brought up social, and I feel like this is fun, and also because I've been thinking about this and how I kind of wanted to make someone the opposite of all of you. And what I mean by that is, for those watching, the way this game kind of works, all of us are kind of flawed. Like, what we wanted in college,
mean?
thought what would be our,
Deeply.
oh, you know what I mean.
I'm fine, and I am
You're
perfect.
okay. Sorry, some of us are flawless. Fine. Some of us break people.
Mm.
Joking.
Couldn't be
appreciate
Mara.
you.
Right? Shouldn't be me.
I appreciate you. Don't worry. No, what I mean by that is obviously who we were in college. We all probably had specific things that we thought we were going to hit years down the line. And thank you for the hydrate. And ostensibly, that maybe hasn't happened for us, or it has happened in ways that have not been the best. The way I've interpreted having a fool in the mix is, oh no, they got everything they wanted once they got to be an adult, but also getting everything you want doesn't mean life is perfect. So my way of doing it, you would easily know what they're up to on social because they stuck with the same thing that they were doing in school, which is they currently work as a musician in New York City. And they are always on social because they have to for work reasons. That's how they get their jobs.
Oh, if they were in New York City and doing that, I've definitely been to shows. Because if I would go see like
Yeah.
Kevin's improv shows, like I'm gonna go watch her like shows, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, and you would know then in that case, she's specifically in New York, she works as a session bassist.
I
So
love
anyone
that.
who needs like
I
some backup
fucking love
help,
that.
that's your girl. You go for
Yeah.
her. Yeah. But at this
When
moment,
did
as
she
you
kind
said,
of like
kind of that
disappear?
and perfect question. You haven't seen her post anything on socials in over a month. And no one's been sure if that's like, is she just taking a creative break? What's going on? But
Oh,
nothing has
no.
popped up in about a month.
Only a month. Oh God. Okay.
How long ago
Which in
did
social terms, a
Zoe
month is a
die?
long time.
Mm.
Yeah.
How long ago did Zoe die?
Zoe died a few months ago. And I'm going to say, if you want to be more specific, it's been at least 4 to 5 months. Probably closer to the 4. I think that makes more sense.
I just wave
But
at
also,
Red
as you
and then
said-
turn around and walk off. I just go the other side of the room. Just done with this moment.
And I was going to say, that feeling of numbness, like, I get it. I feel like that's going to persist probably because of this moment just kind of unfolding. You're just like, what the fuckity fuck?
Mhm.
Best way to describe that.
Mara is
eventually-
probably. I would say Mara's probably more upset that Ava is walking away.
Like, the other side of the room. I don't
I'm
want
just
to
walking
be
to the other side of the room.
Yeah, I don't want to be in between.
I know,
Alice
but just
and
in
Red.
general, yeah, the fact that there's a separation there, I'm like,
Secretly, I'm
I-
getting closer to this computer so Edie can hack it, but I'm not telling it.
Which is what I was going to ask, actually.
um,
And it's in that moment I eventually follow Camille, and then I see you're holding on to someone, but it has not registered yet who that is. And I'm just looking at all of you like, who's that?
It's Alice.
And then you say that, and I probably do the same thing Alice did, unless Mara wants to say something because I know you.
no, I would say, and as Camille says that, I like step to the side because I would assume that Alice has gained control of her legs to some degree here.
Yeah. And I see her face, and I stop moving immediately and just kind of stare in disbelief. And for Mara's sake, I feel like you're probably still holding on to her because of this little fear that if she looks at me, something might happen badly. Because she made it based on the fact you all met her with her mask on. She brought me down to brought Red down to her knees. I'm going to assume Mara's probably maybe holding on to her still.
Like, yeah, but it's more of like like to the side, like a
Yeah.
my arm is now like sliding up underneath when I'm like we're like battle buddy carrying here. Like
Yeah.
I think Ava just very flatly from the other side of the room's like real one, not just like a picture of Alice, like from our heads, like everyone else, like
Alice,
legitimately.
Yeah, this
The
is
actual one.
Alice.
Yeah.
I walk forward. Do you keep her gaze away from me,
Oh,
Mara?
No.
You immediately, when she locks eyes with me and I lock eyes with her, you can feel her wanting to grab at either the pistol or the rapier and point it at me.
This isn't flying chick in the sky. just so you know,
right.
the one that's trying to kill you, I don't think 95%, 80, 75% sure that
Which is
is
why
not
I'm-
the same person.
Alice, that's Red. That's
Roll. This is going to sound weird, but there's a reason I'm going to make you do this. Can you roll all your strength?
mine? Lord,
Holy
there ain't much.
gosh.
There ain't much. All right.
If you don't succeed, she'll break from your hold and pull one of those items out.
oh
I'm not
my
going to say she's going to
gosh.
immediately use it. I'm just saying that's what will happen.
I got 2 6s.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, poor
Wow.
Alex.
You have much bigger
That's-
strength than you realize. Also, giant.
Like-
Nice.
Story roll.
You just like grab hold of her, and it's one of those. Maybe you lock eyes with her to the point, and she's still under submission, so she probably you don't say it, but she just looks at you, and this immediately stops, and but looks at you like, "Why are they here? I don't want them in this fucking room."
It's not the
Red?
flying person.
It's
It is
It's
the
not-
flying person. They look exactly like my
I
friend.
know, but that's not. I know
No.
that's not them.
Do you
That's-
remember this person in the real life, their boyfriend?
You mean
That's
red?
who this is.
And then she
Yeah.
says, "You mean red?" And I was like,
Yeah.
and that's where, for Mara's sake, you immediately again feel her go completely shaky, and
Nope.
just now doesn't say anything.
I'm
And
like, no.
whether
no.
you like it or not, she just has no more strength. She completely just buckles.
Oh well, then I gently gently set her down. Like
For
Mm.
I'm
Ava,
very
'cause I
tall.
wanna hit-
She's short.
Yeah, you are.
That's a lot for my
Ava, because
back.
as I've mentioned, Edie is always scanning, and if you want Edie from a distance to hack that computer,
Yeah,
just
I want
roll
to be very
intelligence,
secret.
and I will
about
see.
it.
I will let you know what happens.
I roll as many d6s as I have.
As many, the number in intelligence is how many d6s, and I will say because Edie's helping you, add your d10.
All right. Do I add up total or highest die?
Just individual.
Okay, so I've got
So like any dice that's 4 plus, let me know.
cool. I have 2 6s. And then the other doesn't matter. And then my D10 is a 7.
That's good.
That's
That's good. Odds are good. Edie, as I mentioned, just has this scanning bar, and you notice it now. It's like scanning in scanning in progress, Commander, and it's like 100%. And immediately, all these file folders just pop up like a computer, like. And what you're realizing is one, there's a folder named Game Rules.
Copy.
2, there's a folder that's just simply titled Memories.
Copy.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And if you decide to go through them, let me know.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm done with this conversation.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing.
I'm going to get back to game rules, but I will say for memories because I think that's more fun. You open one of them up and you realize this is like journal entries Alice has been making since she's been here. She somehow found a way to digitize all those books in that room into a computer file.
Wow.
And you're realizing like she's been legit. She's been here for over 100 years and has been keeping tabs on everything she's done.
Interesting.
And I'll even say, because I love a good moment of just messing with people a little bit to give you a little shock and awe. One of the entries you open up, it's just labeled like, met a new adventuring party today. Kind of shocked. They look a lot like people I used to go to school with, and you have an actual picture. And 100% when she said, oh yeah, they looked a lot like people I know, it is exactly each of your faces.
And this is like the adventuring party.
That she fought with who defeated
Not
a great
like
evil
us.
100 years ago. Yeah.
But she disappeared after we played?
Which I would say, because I love a good flashback moment, you find one entry and it's her kind of retelling. And I'm going to change this a little bit to make it go a little bit quicker. So you find an entry that's dated like, like kind of like a first entry, like, I don't know where the hell I am, but like the last thing I remember, just to keep it short, so I don't have to dwell on this too long. It's like, last thing I remember is I was at my friend's apartment. We were having a very serious one-to-one. Serious is quotations and italicized. Serious one-to-one. And I don't know why, picked up this dice, held it in my hand for a few seconds, released it, and then I ended up somewhere completely different.
Does it say the friend's name?
It ends by saying, I really want to know what the hell Phoenix was planning.
We knew we didn't trust that.
And
bitch.
also, it ends on a much sadder note by saying, that was such a nice night with them. I really wish I could get that night back.
Aww.
I ain't sorry for any of you assholes. I don't feel sorry for any.
It's too late now.
Too late now. All right. Yep. Ooh. Okay, I might be Katuna back into this conversation in a minute. I'll let it flow long enough so that it makes sense that I'd be reading.
The other thing I will bring up, because you probably get that and have that immediate reaction to yourself, where if the others see that, you see it, you don't know what the hell's going on, because
Yeah, my eyes
see
are
an
just like
AI
so
overlay.
wide and then so like they go up and then just down.
And then the other thing you do, because I'm going to say you're briefly doing this and then I'll switch to others, is you go through the game folder. It's not big. You see everyone's character sheet pop up. Somehow that's been here. You don't know how that's here.
Like
it's
our
here.
current, like me as a Neo, or like
The ones that you're
previous?
playing as. Yep.
Okay.
It shows like each description of them. It doesn't have your names on it, but it says what the descriptions of each are and all that.
Mhm.
And there's even a file that talks about the letter you got saying how it needs to be a unanimous vote. Those who are dead don't get a vote. There's an annotation on that last part where it says, those who are dead don't get a vote. Annotation. Doesn't mean you can't go home. It means if someone dies, that person doesn't get a vote. Everyone else, though, can vote and go home or leave or stay.
Watch out, Mara.
So you can tell she's probably been making notes on things because it's been 100 years. You got the
Shit.
time.
Yeah.
For everyone else, Alice is completely gone limp and is just not at all reacting anymore. I'm looking at her in disbelief, and then I just say out loud the thing that Ava read, which is, I haven't seen her in a while, and I have no. Why is she here? How did she?
Well, so
And
I guess that's probably why you're
We
here.
were probably hoping you would know that.
I haven't seen her in a month. She just kind of upped and disappeared. I had no idea where she's been.
Mm-hmm. Says Ava sassily from the back of the room. Sure.
That was
think-
genuinely also.
Camille, say
I
it.
think we need to stick our heads together and figure out what the fuck is going on here.
I mean, does it really matter what's going on?
Well, it matters because we need to figure out what's going on so we can leave. So we can.
That's the plan still.
Short weekend.
Short weekend.
I said I agreed to a short weekend.
Question for Mara:
Short
is your
weekend
face still
tomorrow.
stained?
Is what?
Is your face still stained?
Oh yeah.
Having used a voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I then look at you, look at Alice, look back at you immediately. Why is your what's Okay, I'm just gonna ask Mara, and I don't want any bullshit. I'm just gonna ask, what did you
Well, that's
do?
rich coming from you. But
Gave her the fucking playbook, dude.
it was
You know what she
accidental.
did.
It was literally accidental. I
Yeah.
didn't
And it was very helpful, and it got us lots of information.
more
So
than
we
you've
have-
given us because
Uh-huh.
you've left us to.
Okay, that's. I just walk up to her, and she does look at me. She does not move or try to break free from you. She just looks at you completely like, I won't do it. You have my word. But she's not saying anything. And I just look at her and I'm like, is she okay? Like, I've never seen her like this, or
You
like
know, it's
anything you've
so
done like
that.
this.
Okay, what a loaded question. I think she is okay. She just is okay with me. Look, I was just asking some questions, and I don't know what happened. I think I lost control, or I didn't have control to begin with. I don't really know. All I know is that we were trying to get answers because one, I didn't know where you were. You were gone. We've had fireballs thrown at us. We find out that Mission and Alice, they're all of these people.
Co-leaders?
They're
What?
co-leaders. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
co-leaders. I don't know. One's the face, the other's the brains. I don't know. Um, like, I'm looking. I'm looking for a way to stay, and she says this out loud.
Wait, Whiplash, you want to stay now? I thought you were telling me originally you didn't want to stay. Like, I'm looking at Alice while I say this, and it's very difficult. It's like, I still also want to stay, but also looking at her, I'm like, oh God, and just don't know what to say after that. I kind of just turn around.
Okay, well,
I teleport so that when Red turns around, they're looking right at my face. I'm
And
just
when I turn around,
globally.
I'm not trying to leave. I just can't look at
said-
Alice
she
because I
said-
just feel yeah. I heard that. I deserve that. But like when I turn around, it's not more trying to leave. It's just more like I just can't look at Alice because I just feel utterly in disbelief that she's here. And it's just something that she's been missing for
Okay.
about a month in the real world.
great.
I don't wonder
So
why.
yeah, like what happened? Why is Alice here, Red?
I don't know. Why is she here?
Give
And
us like a
she
step by
looks
step
at
of the
you.
last night you saw her. How about?
When you say the last night I saw her, I have a very strange facial reaction, which is the most lip-biting, coy smile appears on my face. I'm like, well, every week we met up to just check in on one another because I look at her because I point at myself when I say this because when she died, it hit us really bad. She was an extremely good friend to both of us. So we had a once a week meetup where we would check in on each other. And about a month ago when she came over, she saw all the character sheet stuff that I had printed out and had on my table. And I offered up to her, hey, you should play in our game. It's been a while. I never got even around to telling her you four were the others who'd be playing because. And then again, that weird coy smile hits. It's like, and well, to be honest, we had an unexpected moment happen. That
I like quote
was a
exactly
very-
what was in the journal. I forgot already.
Yeah, which-
Siri is
Mhm.
like, I finished the sentence with whatever that line was.
Yeah.
And I just give you a very stern look, like, yeah, that
Oh,
Did you
well,
was a very
maybe
pleasant. It was one of the
realize-
nicest things that's happened in a long while.
I mean, super happy for you for that. In another circumstance, high fives, I'd buy you a drink. Right now, did you not fucking realize the D6 was missing? When
To
you
be
sent us
honest, I
dice?
had been wondering where it went because I couldn't find it in the apartment.
Okay, so let's put the pieces together. What does that baby mean?
I mean, but okay, okay, to be fair, like, why would Red immediately think Alice took it?
She disappeared.
But here's the thing: you have a moment with a friend. It's no longer just a friend. Okay, why would the first thing you'd go to be like, oh, they took the D6?
At that moment, because I think this is fun to do for Ava, Edie has a thing pop up saying, for like the journal entry, it's like,
Mhm.
memory scanned, memory downloaded. Would you like to view?
Yes.
What happens is it's not the full memory. You have this moment where it starts off as black and then fades in, and you see Alice getting out of bed, looks behind her, and Phoenix is just sitting there, lying down. She puts her clothes on. This gorgeous black cashmere sweater, black joggers. Just perfect street fashion. Just pitch perfect. She goes off into the kitchen, which ostensibly looks like she's trying to get a glass of water. Maybe it's late at night. You just wake up. You need something to drink. Throat's a little dry. And she stops, looks in the living room, and sees that there's this box hidden underneath some of the papers. And she just moves the papers aside. And on top of the box are two things. No, she takes the box, opens it up, and inside are two things. There's a note and the most ordinary, boring, tiny D6 you've ever seen in your life. And the thing with this memory is you're not just watching it, you're realizing you can walk around the space and see Phoenix's apartment in full. It's like a VR thing out of nowhere. But the funny thing is, for the others, they don't see you moving, but you're somehow able to move around in that space. It's all in your, you're all able
Net
to do
run,
that.
baby.
Yeah, literally you're net running, which is you're fucking Neo. Of course you're net running.
It's
Like, hell yeah.
Mhm.
Also, Cyberpunk, yay. Woo. You see her open the box, take the note out, and just looks at it, and then picks up that D6 and just chuckles because it's the smallest fucking die you've ever seen. It is like whatever the smallest version of a D6 that you can get that is currently dangling off her ear. That is exactly what it looks like. And it's not even, as I mentioned last session, there's no numbers on it. It's all
That's
dots.
so fucking tiny.
It's the most
That's okay.
Monopoly of Monopoly dice, just half the size.
Yeah.
And then you hear her say it, you hear her read the note out loud, which is basically just like, okay, it's a ritual. Just hold the die in your hand, close your eyes, and on the count of 3, release. And on the count of 3, she's no longer in the room, nor is the die, nor is the piece of paper.
Is the note handwritten?
The note was handwritten by Phoenix, as it was for, Phoenix
All of
handwrote it.
us,
I'm going
yeah.
to say for the others, because we didn't do this in session 1, I didn't really give you a note because it was read over the computer screen. So you didn't get a note. She got a note.
All right.
Thank you for calling me on that, because I just realized at the moment I was going to say something different. And I'm like, no, I can't say that because we have video footage of that says otherwise.
Right.
Right.
But you see her completely, she's not in the room anymore. And then maybe Edie speeds up the tape. And then you see me walk out of the living room just very confused as to where she went. And I try now looking for the D6, and then the memory just ends. And that's when you see me again, because I'm right in front of you. And I'm just like, I've been wondering where she's been for a month. I had no idea where she went. I thought I did something awful. I thought that was, I look at her like I thought she, to be honest, I thought she freaked out and didn't want to talk to me after we had that moment. Yeah.
Where the fuck did
That
you get
sucks
this
because
game?
that was a very nice moment between two people.
That's a great question. Where the fuck did you get this game?
Also, just because like now I kind of feel bad and I
Yes.
feel like I need to be a little bit of a wingman. She does wish she could have that night back. Anyway, please continue. Where did you get this game?
For the other two, Camille, again, Proserpina is just weirdly quiet.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where maybe it's fine, but also you can't help but have those weird, it's like that hairs on the back of the neck kind of thing happening where you're just like, why is she so quiet all of a sudden? It just seems strange. You don't even, if you were even called her name out, she doesn't respond at all. She's just eerily quiet. And as I mentioned for Yang, Your Ham's emotional state is way too high right now because it's just like this is so fascinating. Like it's the epitome of like this is so dumb, but like it's like watching a good reality television that shit's just gonna hit the fan at some point. It already is, and Ham's just like,
favorite.
yes, this is so much fun.
My favorite.
It's like someone be like, "Where's the popcorn, man? I just want
It's the Bad Girls Club, but in a fantasy setting. All right.
I mean,
And
if that's the case, I'd probably so Yang is more focused on Camille, especially with
yeah,
I know it's been a minute, but last time Mission was wanting Camille to call in a favor so that, the alteration to Alice's mind would be lifted. But Yang is concerned about what the price she'd have to pay is. And so with that focus, if he feels that Ham is, so enamored with the convo, he's going to set Ham down so that he can talk with Camille and say, Mission is going to ask you to do something that it would be very powerful. It'd be almost like turning back time in a sense. And I just want to know, what would that cost you if you did it?
Well, it's hard for me to know exactly what it would cost, but given the fact that, well, up until now, now she's strangely silent, but up until now, since I've borrowed this god's power, she's been always there, sort of a presence, like somebody who I can feel the eyes on me constantly, like a weight. It's not here now, but I feel like if I were to borrow something that's even more powerful, even more world-rending than what I've done up till now, which hasn't been much really in comparison to probably what we have to do.
But the effect on you,
Yeah.
and he'll gesture to the physical changes that Camille has undergone as a result of calling upon these powers. And he'll say, if what you've asked for hasn't been that much, and this is what it's done to you, then what is it going to take?
I'll take one of Yang's hands in mine, and I'll just say, I don't think it matters to me that much, knowing that we won't die, or the three of you won't die, won't be trapped, won't ever see the light of this world or our world, whatever world we end up picking at the end of all of this. If it saves you, then everything that I've done, all of the trips and falls I've made up until this point, all of the failings that I've fallen into, all of that will be repaid, worth it, redeemed.
You say that it doesn't matter to you that much if you're able to save us, but it matters to us. We don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose us like we did back then.
Well, then I'll speak to her. I'll speak speak to this god and see if I can negotiate, I guess. Before I do anything, I'll make sure I'm clear on what I'm getting into, what we're getting into, and I promise I'll be honest.
Okay. All right. And if she does anything to you, then, and I'm gonna grab Ham from where I've set him down, she's gonna have to answer to us.
Are
In
you
the
saying
process
this?
of that-
I'm sorry. Are you saying that loud enough where we all hear you say this to her?
I think like once the idea of Camille being willing to offer herself up to save us
Mhm.
has been on the table, Yang has stopped modulating all volume and it's just
Got it.
impassioned cries. So all of you would hear that.
All right.
And Ham, when you finish that, just is not like, oh, excited. It's more like you can hear Ham jokingly sniffle, be like, that was so beautiful.
Stop.
And I'm going to say, just because I want to, bring your emotional scale down to 3.
Okay.
I feel like that tempered you a bit.
Venting.
Yeah, venting it a little bit. Like, hey, good metaphor there. I love that.
Mhm.
Which leads me to ask, do you call for Proserpina?
Yes. If I can reach wherever she is right now. I just
Okay.
sort of
I'm gonna-
scream out of my mind to see if she answers.
I'm going to say you do that. I will get back to that in a minute. Mara, you're still holding on to Alice. She's now not buckled anymore. She's realizing, like, I can't do this to you, and is standing up.
Oh, good.
And she just looks at you, and maybe the others hear this. I leave this up to them because she's probably just speaking to you, being like, I just want you to know because I can't believe who you are, but like, if you ask it, I will immediately remove them from the room. And they point at Red.
What?
I'll still do anything you want. I don't
Oh,
care if
fuck.
Mara or, and they say Eden, say
As-
Mara.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you want, I will do as you say. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't want to
Okay.
look at
And
them. I just really don't want to look at them because I don't believe who you say they are. But
look,
if you're all
look,
telling the truth,
Red for a walk, maybe.
don't go any. No, hold on. Camille, surely you can do something. Surely I can't remove this, but surely your mother can. She says that because she's like, I mean,
I hope so. I'm gonna talk to her.
Camille, do you say her name out loud, Proserpina?
Yep.
When you say that, everyone freezes. Every single person freezes. No one else is moving. You're the only one who can move. And a very strange thing happens. Proserpina appears. She is much more gentle with you right now. She actually does not appear in front of you. She gently places her hands on your shoulder as if like you've been put through a ringer, and she kind of, you get this weird feeling the way it's placed on your shoulder. She actually feels bad that you've been put through a ringer.
Mm.
The other thing is when she does walk into view, she's not alone. There is another person with her. And what I want to do, because I want to make this much more interesting, you've never seen this other person with her.
Mm-hmm.
Mara, does Mara have any sisters?
yes.
Describe what your sister looks like.
Okay, well, my older and my younger sister.
Whatever you decide. And if it's younger, I'm going to say they're not. They are probably early 20s if it's younger, just to keep it easier.
Perfect. Okay. This is a young girl who is shorter than 5 foot. Yeah, she's small. She has like sandy blonde hair. She has literally the darkest brown eyes you've ever seen. Not black, but they are so strikingly dark. Um, and she is she has a bigger upper torso and like some like she's like what I would consider no butt. Like she's just like a, you know, she's young. Like she looks like she's still growing. Like but she's young and she has the very similar smile to what Eden would have looked like. The same cadence to her voice. Like they're very similar.
Camille,
Mm.
Proserpina walks in front of you. The second person, they don't fully look at you yet. They kind of just, you see them walk forward, and you've never seen this person before, like ever. You have no idea who this is or why someone's with Proserpina. You're actually kind of confused because you thought you could only really talk to her. Obviously, you've seen Volcan, but like the same time, it's also like there are other gods in this world. Like, what the fuck is going on? This person doesn't talk to you yet. They walk past Proserpina and they actually go to where everyone else is in the room and is kind of slowly just walking around the room. They have purple and blue Greek robes on. You can tell from behind them, they have golden antlers pointed out of their forehead. And they just kind of take everyone in, sway from side to side a little bit. You see one very particular thing that is very apparent, and you're not sure what it means. In the antlers, there's like this golden thread wrapped around her antlers that drapes downward towards the front of her, but you're not knowing what that's about. And then Proserpina just looks at you like, I hope you don't mind. I had a friend who was very persistent about joining me.
That's okay, of course.
Her friend still has not acknowledged you. They're just kind of taking everyone in and is literally one by one walking up to all of you and is just doing that funny thing that Ava kind of just did to Red, which is just staring them right in the face. But like not in a menacing way. It's more this just gentleness of just looking at each one of us one at a time. It's like, I take it you need a favor. Proserpina
Yes.
says that to you. Yeah. Let me
Assuming
guess.
you've been
Edge.
listening.
Yeah, and she just looks at Alice, and she walks up to Alice, places her hand gently on her head. So here's the thing. I would do anything to help you out, and I hope you know that this isn't so much just I owe you a favor, you owe me a favor. This is our back and forth. I would never
Yeah.
do. She walks back up to you and gently places her hand on your shoulder. I would never do anything to hurt you, my dear. I just want to be able to have a good working relationship with you, as it were. Which is
Mhm.
why I have two things. One, I can't fix that. That does not fall in my domain.
Right. Okay.
My friend, however, if you'd like to strike a deal with them, by all means, they can fix this. At the same
Okay.
time, I can at least do this, and because you chose to level up Proserpina all the way, which is fucking awesome,
Yeah.
she has an item in her hand, and the book labels it as a bell, but I just want you to describe, what does this look like?
I think it is like a sort of heavy metallic brass church bell that is inscribed with etchings and carvings, embossings is probably the right word, of like sort of mythos and tragedy and sort of like mass violence and murder images in Greek myth and Roman myth of the sort of death and war and things like that. Um, and when it sounds, the chime is deep and sort of almost so low that it's kind of hard to hear. It gets drowned out by other sounds and things like this.
She holds it out to you and says, I may not be able to help you with this miracle you're asking. Better ask my friend. However, I can give you this.
Okay. What
Just be very careful how you use it.
does it do?
Well, she does this cheeky thing that probably makes you in the moment laugh when you really don't want to laugh, which is one hand opens up, you see tiny animated skeletons. It's like, well, we have this. She points
Yeah.
at the the Hellenistic short sword you have, which again, I love the description you gave of that. It's perfect. Just made of bone, looks awesome and badass. It's like, you have that. Consider this another gift. Just more of, if you ring it and it's directed at someone, it might make them have a very not great sort of premonition style realization of bad things in their life.
Really?
It's just
My
so
eyes
if you need
flicker over
something
to
to
wherever
tell.
it is.
Yep. And she sees that and picks up on it. It's like, yeah, but know that there is a possibility you can cripple them so bad that you break them. And as much as I love bestowing power to someone, be smart about it. And I know you're smart.
Well, yeah.
And as said, and she just points at her friend, who finally is still kind of walking around everyone slowly. She takes a long second looking at Alice, like a very long second, and just gently places a hand on her. And it's like the lightest of touch of just like, you poor thing have been through hell. And then she approaches, and what's very visible is the following. Again, Greek robes, deep purples and blues, like that beautiful deep purple. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than like, it's just like that inky purple. Like, if you've ever seen like just dark purple, it's just that royal coloring that's just so stunning. It's jewel toned. That's the word I was looking for. It's like that jewel toned purple that no matter what, you look at it and you're just like, God damn, girl. Like, you A+, you knew exactly what you're doing. Golden antlers. There is golden thread wrapped around it that drapes in the front, that her hands have wrapped around it as well. So the thread up top is wrapping around her hands that she's just holding like a cat's cradle. Her face has specks and flakes of silver everywhere. It's almost as if she's like a walking jewel. Her eyes glow a deep purple. And then what throws you off, because it's just such a weird thing, because you're just not expecting it. She is visibly with child.
Okay.
There is a curve in her fabric that catches you off, and she just walks up to you. She's about 5 feet, exactly as Holly just said. Looks exact, and then weirdly enough, facially looks super similar to Holly or like Mara.
Mm.
Sorry, didn't mean to say your real name, but to say Mara. Great joke. She looks very similar to Mara, but just shorter. Which I love that visual, just really tall, really short.
Yeah.
And she approaches, puts her hand on Proserpina. Like, somehow the thread lets her do that for a second, like it's not in the place. And she just looks at you. Hello, pleasure to meet you. Don't worry, I have no intentions of making a pact with you. I'm just owing her a favor and paying it in due.
I see. Fair
My
enough.
name is Nona.
Nona. Well, it's
Yeah.
a pleasure to meet you.
And I feel like Polly knows Greek mythology.
Yes.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
And because you know Greek myth, add a d6.
Okay. Sure.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Please do.
I rolled 2 6s and a 4.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. See, you know what you're doing.
And I just rolled the 3d6, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Your brain immediately goes into high gear because the others don't really fully know this because it's not been said yet. So far, your pantheon matches the Greek and Roman gods to the T.
Mm.
And Nona immediately picks up because they are one of the 3 sisters of fate.
Yes, with the threads.
So
Mhm.
you see the thread and you're immediately like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But also because I didn't know this till last night, Nona, who is her name, and also I can't help but now think of Gideon the Ninth because that's one of the book names. Sorry, real nerdy. Nona is also known as one of the gods of fate or destiny, specifically. Also,
Mhm.
apparently, goddess of fertility. And
Yeah.
when you look at her and see that, I have a very specific question I want to ask, and it's maybe a little far to ask this, but I feel like it's important.
It's okay.
Looking at her, do you have any sort of weird thinking about Michael and you and your marriage? And like, is there anything that hasn't happened yet that maybe is something that you guys maybe wanted to try? Or like, has Michael and you ever wanted kids? Has that ever been a thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that because I think Polly definitely has and has tried her best to bring it up on occasion when she's feeling particularly strong about it. But he never has. And every time she's tried to bring it up, he's just shut it down immediately. And she's in such a position, or she feels like she's in such a position that she can't continue to fight for what she wants in that situation. So it's always something that's lingered in the back of her mind as a real desire, but it's always just out of reach for her, I think.
Yep. You see her. She's being very gentle with you. It's like, hi, pleasure. Again, she extends her hand this time, and somehow the thread just unravels perfectly, and she has her hand extended to you. Pleasure to meet you.
You too.
I've heard so much about you looking at Proserpina, who then, first time you've ever seen this, Proserpina's face flushes of just like so happy and proud of you.
Oh,
Like, so she can't, she looks at Alice, she can't fix that. I can, though, because, holds the thread up, fate can easily be modified.
I see.
However, that's a big ask. That's a
Oh, it's
very big
definitely.
ask. Which is why she does a very weird thing. She stops looking at you and she looks at Mara and is like, I'll make a deal with you, and only you. We'll keep it to ourselves. She does that weird thing where she gives you a wink. I will help restore your friend to who they were before. Looking at Mara, they broke them at the same time. I want to be able to make a deal with your friend, and points at Mara. Because to me, you can't just break someone like that and not expect something to happen. And also, she gives Mara a very strange look, like there's something about this one that fate doesn't quite have an answer for yet, and I want to talk to them.
Out of character?
And she looks
Holly,
at
I just want to make
Proserpina.
sure you're okay with me potentially going forth with this.
Yeah, and then Proserpina looks at you, is like, oh,
Totally
Proserpina,
fine.
okay.
It's fine. Yeah. I know we spoke about it early on, but yes, whatever. I'm game for whatever. So
Yep.
Mhm.
And during this, Proserpina says out loud, like, trust me, I'd rather you take a deal with her than me, because my deal would have, if I was able to have done this, she just holds out a pomegranate. I really just want you to eat the goddamn fruit. I swear it's just a fruit.
I know. Everybody seems to keep wanting to take it away from me.
I know. It's not like I'm trying to force something bad. It's delicious.
No,
But yeah, Nona just looks at you like, do we have a deal?
I sort of look over at these frozen companions of mine, and the way that Alice, this supposed, sort of bastion of hope and victory for the city, has been, well, literally sort of in this scenario brought to her knees by this like circumvention of events and the way that everything's culminated. And I say, I think this seems like a fair price to pay for the situation we find ourselves in. I just want to know that Mara will live.
They smile. They politely grab your hand and kind of just do that sandwiching together of their hand on top. And they're like, my dear, I have no intention of harming them. You have my word. If this
And we
was
have a deal.
Proserpina, she looks at Proserpina. I'm not sure she would have guaranteed that. Which woman who looks like your mom just gives this look of like, stop putting me on the spot. I'm not that bad of a person. But deep down, for Camille, you're like, oh, Proserpina, I don't trust that.
No.
But Nona looks at you like, I promise, I just want to talk to them, and fate has a weird reading on them, and I want to know why.
Then I say we have a deal.
She
Gladly accept your help.
And this is where she lets go of your hand, gives you a nod. Proserpina puts her hand on your shoulder and does something that I don't know how you'll react to this, so you get to tell me. Puts her hand on your shoulder and gently leans down, plants a kiss on your forehead, and then disappears. And then Nona just looks at Eden, gives a very polite smile, looks at you. It's like, I promise she'll be fine. You have my word. And then in front of you, she just fades away. And the way she fades, it's like the thread unravels in the moment, and that's how she disappears. In that moment, Alice is no longer limp in your hand, and everyone starts moving like real time again. And for Eden, you look at Alice, and she looks at you, and she immediately removes you holding her and just like parts the hands immediately.
All right, that's
backs
fair.
off,
That's fair.
looks at your face, and she, for a brief second, puts her hand where her gun is, as if she's about to pull it on you, and it's like,
It was accidental. Accidental.
Oh, that's really annoying, because if you're really who you are, I'm so not happy about this. But Mara, if you ever do that to me again, I swear I will put one right between your eyes.
If I ever do it again, I won't let you. But yeah, okay. Like,
and then she just like,
Ava
Ava
actually smiles and gives a little like.
Yeah, and as the GM, because I think this is fun now mechanically, if Eden tries to use the voice on Alice again, it's at a disadvantage because
okay.
of this miracle that just happened.
Yes, all right.
With Proserpina, you still have one debt. We
Yeah.
will figure that out at some other point, because I still want to just keep that there.
Oh, me too.
If Ava made any sort of cheeky noise, because I totally would have too,
Yeah.
Alice turns around, and because I was just thinking about this, the way you described how you probably kept in touch with her. If you kept in touch with her and went to her shows and all that, I would say then, do you think you two were good friends?
Yeah, I mean, I would say too, especially if, because, you know, she would have been in the same sort of scenes that I would have liked to see myself in. So would have like been there, like of everyone. Yeah, we would have probably been the closest. And if she was like reciprocate of it, would probably have been close. Apparently not close enough to tell her about her foray with her old friend, but you know, I guess she maybe would have told me, but she disappeared. Anyway.
After she basically threatens Mara, she just looks at you like, so let me get this straight. You're I really hate that goddamn rule.
Yeah.
Mara looks at Camille. Camille, you look so much like Kevin, but okay, Yang. And somehow she was able to say Kevin. But also,
Rude.
it's one of those, like, thinking about her old hero friend. So it's just one of those weird occurrences. I'm just gonna say. She does not look at me. And then for Ava specifically, the reason why I ask, she just looks at you like, oh my God, Ava. And she doesn't ask permission on this. She just runs up to you and gives you a hug.
Yeah. Well, give it back.
And maybe you hear her crying for a second.
Oh.
I'll just keep squeezing
because it's
until
just
she
like, oh
contains
my god,
herself.
it's someone I know who I haven't seen in what feels like a very long time.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's a good point to take a 10-minute break.
Yeah. Sounds
All
good.
right.
All right. BRB, guys, to see how
Okay.
this goes now that Alice is herself again. Woo!
Yeah. I said it. Sorry.
Hi, everyone. Obviously, you probably see it right now. We are minus one person. They took off for the night. All is good. They're fine. Beck, we miss you already. You're a wonderful human being. Take care of yourself. And to make that mechanical, because it's fun that you can do that in the game. Again, Alice is now hugging Ava as if it's like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in 100 years kind of hug, which for you is maybe weird because it's not been that long.
I'm like,
Uh,
it's been like 3 weeks, but
yeah. Actually, if you say 3 weeks, she's gonna clock that, but I'll get back to that in a second.
yeah, I'll say
Uh,
whatever the last show is that I saw of her, like a guesstimate, like time.
Mhm.
You know what? I have a fun question that any of you can answer because I think this would be fun. Who did she play with in her last show in New York? And it can be any band you want.
Oh, I literally something terrible, but awesome came to mind, but it's not. It is not timeline current. So, like, because we are
This is
what
a game.
early.
It can be anything.
We're early 2000s, right?
We are
that-
currently 2023 because we started our game in 2023. It's been 10 years
Okay.
since we played our college game, so that was 2013.
Oh, that's it. There we go. I have an idea.
Yeah, say it. I
Do
said whoever has
it.
it, you have the floor.
Just because I think it would be such a fun, like, I'm throwing out Hobo Johnson. Sorry. No, I don't know if anyone even fucking knows who that is, and I don't care.
But
I shall find it and put it in chat. Hold tight.
Right.
what specific genre was it? Just out of curiosity.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you it's like it's alternative indie, but it's like very vocal forward, kind of like spoken poetry. Like,
Ooh, that's fun.
I know, that's
You
why
would
I'm
need
like,
a base for
New
that.
York.
yeah, I know. That's why I was like, this is where my brain went, and that's what we're
Oh.
doing. We're gonna find you guys a song. I'm just gonna throw it in chat.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go with it. That's awesome. Yeah, she got somehow in New York. She got a gig lined up helping them out. They just needed someone to fill in for the night because their base, like whoever their main bassist was, probably got sick. Her name got dropped. She ended up doing it. Ended up working out in her favor. Again, weird, unnatural luckiness in the real world. Interesting. Yang, you see this interesting thing happen because I want to make this mechanical story-wise because I feel like it fits and it's a perfect timing for it.
Mhm.
Camille looks at all of you, and then she just kind of starts to turn around and then walks towards the door and then just leaves the room.
I want to say that maybe in the amidst Alice like running towards Ava, that Yang probably is like initially on his guard and ready in case, stuff's going down. So it takes him a minute. But then once he realizes he's already like maybe 10 paces behind, and so he starts to run towards where probably Camille has already stepped out the door.
And when you open the door, she's not there. And if you try putting Guardian out, or like if it was already on her, you don't sense her at all. She's just not there.
And Yang is gonna look at Ham and be like, did you see, where did she go?
I mean, I saw her walk out the door with a second ago, like you just did. I don't know where she went. And that's where I feel like this is a fun moment to kind of throw Yang off. You feel a very gentle, cold hand placed on your shoulder. And they say, don't worry, we're just having a conversation. She's fine.
Stop.
And Proserpina fades away from your ear.
Yang is gonna
what?
like turn around and try to like grab hold of whatever, and then like probably sees nothing, and then we'll call out and just say, it better just be a conversation. I promise you, if anything happens to her, you're next.
Okay, God Killer.
OTP,
Like, come on now, let's go. Like,
I'm gonna say your emotional level stays at 3
Okay.
because that's a good form of. So the thing for you, anyone watching, anticipation also falls under the emotions of interest as well as vigilance, and that's 100% vigilance of just be like, you hurt her, repercussions will happen.
Yeah.
And once again, you just hear her voice and you don't know where it's coming from. It's just like, I promise it's just a conversation, dear knight. I appreciate, though, your admiration towards your friend. It's very sweet.
And Yang is gonna like kind of nod, not sure if she'll see, but presuming she will, being a god and all, and then feel like a little talked down, and then walk back in and kind of look at Mara and look at Ava and just kind of give like a nod.
I'm just like,
At that point, Alice pulls away and does the same thing she did to Mara, which was, whether Ava likes this or not, I apologize. She does the very, can I get this out of my head because I couldn't believe you said this, and then it rocked my world, Holly, when you said it, because I was like, oh my god, I did actually just completely rip off a scene from Hook. She
Fine.
puts her hands on Ava's face and just looks you in the eyes, and obviously you're pinkish, you're purplishly tinted, like you're not at all human looking whatsoever.
no, I mean, I still have similar facial features and stuff, but I'm a
Yeah.
tiefling.
Yeah.
yeah, but she like looks in your eyes and is just like, I can't believe it's actually you and that you look like this. And that's the first moment she genuinely laughs out loud.
I'm just like, I had to be hot.
I mean, yeah, but also, oh my god, are those real? And that's where the weird childishness of like 100 years just go away. And she doesn't grab. She just touches the very pointed part of the horn. And it's like, ow! It's like, oh god, that is real. Okay.
I haven't tried stabbing anybody with them yet.
That's when you notice there's a tiny trickle of blood that trickles through the
Oh
glove.
my god, they're so sharp. Ow.
Yep.
Why haven't I tested that?
Why haven't I
No.
done that?
She takes the glove off, removes it. She looks at you, Mara, and just says, Mara, good to see you. For Yang, she very slowly walks up to you and just
I'm so really sorry.
kind of like
she
Ava.
walks away. Like, I'm really sorry. It was accidental.
You say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
She pauses for a second when you say that and just walks past you still. And for Yang specifically, she does the same thing she did to Ava. She gives you a very gentle hug because she's looking at you like, it's just weird seeing your face again after 100 years.
Yeah.
But also, this is actually you, which is great.
I mean, it wasn't 100 years for me, but it's good to see you again too.
I flunked math. What's 4 weeks? 4 weeks, 100. 2 days equals X.
Wait,
like, what
did
is
you
this math?
wait? How much time has it been back?
I would say it's like probably like 5 weeks.
I mean, I saw you last at the. What was his name?
You've lived
Hello,
a whole ass
Johnson
life,
show?
my friend, not friend. Like,
She puts her hands up to her head and then she kind of just sits down. And because I've been thinking about this and I thought it'd be really funny, obviously she's wearing a dress. And the funny thing about this dress is if she sits down, it does the most perfect, without her doing anything, it just perfectly poofs out it's like a perfect petticoat. Like a little bit.
Wow.
love.
And it's just like, it's only been a month.
Yeah.
For real?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
She just sits there stunned, and I look at her like, I don't know what to say to her right now. And I just kind of go into the other room where all the books are because I just look at her and I cannot even deal with this right now. And I just walk into that other room.
Okay.
Mission, who is also in the room with us, just looks at all of you with
Fucking Linda.
such confusion and just looks at Alice and is like, I'm my Alice, I'm gonna let you. I'll give you guys a moment, and just places her hand on her shoulder, and then walks out of the room. So Red is in a different room adjacent to this. Alice is on the floor, absorbing the fact it's only been a fucking month.
Okay, well, again, Red's MO, just leaving when things are hard. So, Ava,
Yeah.
are you okay?
No. No. No, not at all.
She says this though, like it's wholeheartedly, but it's very uh it's like it's a question, but it's very a hesitant question. You want me to help you fix that?
I think you're probably going to actively be trying to do the opposite. So probably not.
Okay, but like, look, and she says that when Mara says that she looks at you, and she looks at Yang, and like it's like a moment of like, where the fuck is Camille? Also, like, fuck Red, fuck Alice, fuck them both. Like, she's just like, but imagine if we didn't leave. Like, why are you trying to go back?
Can you like describe to me what you think the next year would look like if we stayed here? Like in your head, what does that look like to you? And what makes you want that to happen? Like genuine question. I'd sound annoyed because I'm annoyed at everything else. Not in this.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Look, okay, so like I get what you're saying, but like, I mean, like, and she looks at Yang because she knows that at the time Yang was like, let's just stay,
Yeah.
and she's like, look, do you really want to go back to like the pizzeria? And she like doesn't even wait for you to answer, and she looks at Ava and is like, okay, look, like really, you want to go back to what, videos and social media and keeping up with the Joneses? Like, why? For what? You have an arm that's a fucking gun.
And there I have friends and I have family and I have my favorite park and my favorite coffee shop. I have my pet. I have real life. I have the things that I have worked so fucking hard to make happen. And yeah, it's not what I expected. It's not as fucking much, but it's what I've done. It's not what some weird pixelated cyber people fucking shoved on my arm. It's real. And to just fucking leave that? To leave everything that I have spent the last 28, 29 years, I don't know, she says how old she actually is, working on for a fantasy world? Like, yeah, no, life fucking sucks. I work more than I sleep. I only have
and
a
you
few
love that,
days
you're gonna
to
go back to that. You're gonna go back to that.
Yes, because at the end of the day, I get to go watch Alice's show and see how much fun she has. I get to go hang out and have pizza. Oh my God, pizza's so fucking good. And hang out. Tries to say Kevin, Yang. I get to do all of these things that are like little and good in my life since we've been here. Parts of my body are getting taken away from me. You are breaking people's mind. Yang has a talking hammer that's probably going to make him commit murder eventually. She says that quietly so Hammy doesn't hear her.
So him here, I love it.
Camille is quite literally wasting away. And this world is only 100 yards away from falling the fuck apart. And sure, we might be able to fix that. But I don't you know this of all people. I'm a shitty person. I've always been a shitty person because I let the doldrums of life get me down. I couldn't see what was so good and what was worth living and what made it unique to me and my friends and my family. And I don't want them to think I died a shitty fucking person. They'll save face. They'll come to my funeral. They'll tell my mother they're sorry. And they'll never say a good thing about me ever again. I don't want that to be my legacy. I don't want to put my family through that. I don't want to put my friends through that. So yeah,
Mara,
I want to go home.
Mara looks at Yang.
Mara, I wanted to stay, but you're worried about Camille. I'm worried about Camille. And when it comes down to it, I know I haven't really been in touch. And I'm sorry. But I've enjoyed spending this time here with you. And I want to go back because I care about you all. I care about Camille. And it doesn't matter if we go back and I never get to see her again. When everything broke down, I'm sorry. And if I may trigger a little flashback, I don't want any advantages. I just wanted.
No, you could do that. Don't worry.
But I'd like to say that, like, after Kevin confessed and was rejected, the next time we were going to meet, Kevin had waited until the last minute. Because if you say you can't make it early enough, everyone is going to be chill and be like, hey, let's schedule another time. Instead, Kevin is like, at the very last second when everyone is there and they're asking where he is, he's, oh, sorry, I can't make it. And he did that a few times, which, I mean, I imagine it sucks. It reduces morale. But it's like Kevin just remembers, like, looking at his phone, seeing those messages, and just ignoring them until it was like an hour passed, and then being like, sorry, something came up. Sorry, something came up. And then back to now, he says, I ruined it, but I would rather never see the person I think I love most ever again than to be right next to her and be contributing to her losing herself, losing her life. You see what has happened to her every single time she does something. Every single time she does some badass stuff in combat, it takes a part of her away. And talking with her, she was willing to do that for us. But I'm not willing to let her do that for me. I don't want her to be gone. I want to go back to that shitty pizzeria, to do improv to an audience of 2 people, to barely get a laugh, knowing that she's somewhere out there living, than to see her die in front of me.
Okay, I get it. Mara looks at both of you. I get it. I get it. We've got unrequited love and we've got a life that we've made ourselves. Great. But you're forcing me to go back to a failed marriage, a job where I'm just a face in the sea of faces. I'm a fucking nobody. Why? Why would you here? My body is my weapon. It's what makes me strong. My voice is heard. Quite fucking literally. How in the world can you expect me to go back to some mundane bullshit and be okay with living? Like, I have nothing. Literally nothing.
Mara, your voice has always been your power. I'm sorry. We've spent time apart. I don't know the struggles you've gone through, and I'm not minimizing them. I'm sure they have been hard and they have been tough because every struggle you face individually is. But you're a strong fucking bitch. Leave the guy. Tell your boss to fuck off. You are so strong-willed and so smart and so charismatic, and you always have been, to the point that I've tried to be you. You can change your life out there just as much as you can here. It may not include horns and crying ichor, which
Right.
is badass. It looks very cool. But you don't need that.
Okay. All right. But for someone to still feel like they've never had a voice and to be giving one that is literally so powerful and to have been powerless and to have been given power, I don't know that I can give it up.
Don't. That's what I'm saying. Take how you feel now into the real world, into the real life, without consequences of breaking someone's brain.
When you
I
say
mean-
that, Alice looks at her, just like, yeah, please don't do that again. That was, in my head, I wanted to resist every single word you said, and I couldn't do it.
I don't know. It's just here, it feels like everything we are given guarantees a consequence and 10 more that follow that are bigger than the one previously.
Alice stands up and just kind of takes her position next to Ava. It's like, imagine 100 years of that. I mean, and she looks at you dead on. It's like, I haven't visually aged a day, but I mentally feel it.
Why haven't you left? You were the only player here.
I couldn't leave. It's
Why?
not how the rules state it.
You were the only one here.
You read the rules?
She looks in the room where Red walked with all the books. I don't know how to explain this because this world is rather rudimentary, as you've clearly seen. Looks at Ava very pointedly, except for you. You're the most, no offense, you're the most advanced thing in this world by a mile. I hope you know that.
Better than
Also,
Gideon,
I have
right?
so many questions on why. Wait, what'd you say?
I said better than Gideon, right?
I hate him so much.
Yeah.
I would throw him out of the city if he actually wasn't one of the top mechanics next to Gadget. I fucking
You should do it anyway. She's so much better.
I
than
mean, he's an ass. And then
Yang's
I
like,
say
"What
that, but I look at
happened?"
you and I'm like, but also I apologize if they're kind of reflecting things back on you. That's
Yeah,
awful.
yeah, we don't gotta talk about it.
No, I don't know how to explain this. I somehow was able to get them to build this for me. It is the best kept secret in this area. There's kind of like a computer I can access in this room.
It kind of already did.
I don't look mad at you. I just give you this smile of like, you know what? I'm kind of proud of you.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm like, I know you have an AI built in. I know you could probably do that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going
yeah.
to say you can't.
I
or
saw your
shouldn't.
memories and
No.
that was weird, and I'm so sorry. I feel like that was a breach of like privacy. It was just kind of there. Looking good though.
Thanks, but also, what memory?
The night you disappeared.
One, invasion of privacy. How
I
dare
didn't
you?
know that
Okay,
was
but,
gonna
like,
be it just in
spicy,
memory
alright?
But also,
lane, okay?
kind
I
of
didn't know
proud
it
of
was gonna
you.
be you naked.
Yeah, but also kind of proud of you. It's weird. Conflicting emotions. And I just, as Alice, she looks at the three of you. Is like, I feel like I have a lot to explain, and it's probably easier now than looking at Mara that I'm not under someone's voice. And she's
Yep.
just so disgruntled.
Like,
looking at you.
like Mara's just like, it was an
Like Mara, I
accident.
would give you a hug if you hadn't done that.
It's the way Mara says it though is very much Ross, we were on a break shit. Like, yeah.
Oh no!
It was an accident. Like
Amazing reference. Oh my
like,
god. God.
sorry.
So many people will not get that, and I'm glad that
So
we're that
many
generation
people
that gets
will.
that.
We were on a break.
She gives you that look of completely understanding that reference because I have to go with that now. Just like
Yeah.
fair, but you're goes back to looking at Ava and Yang. Apparently, about a month ago, I went to Phoenix's because we had a once, and I look in the room where Red is, and I don't. She says Red. I said Phoenix by mistake, but she says Red. I went to Red. That's so weird. I don't. I look at the three of you. It's like honestly, there is a way to get rid of it. I just get rid of that annoyance of not being able to say Red, Ava, Yang, Mara. It's just, and I point in the room where Red is. They're the one who has to do it. I
Yeah,
can't
I
do
read
anything
the rule book
because
earlier too, and that's gonna be my
yeah,
next
I hold up the
conversation.
D20 because I'm like, this is no longer mine to control. It's I have so many. I don't even want to look at them right now because I'm actually really pissed off if that. I still don't believe that's who you say it is, but if it is, Jesus Christ.
Okay, but like surely you know that I don't think that they knew this was gonna happen, right? I don't look at Red and go, they knew it was gonna happen. Do you?
No, but I'm very annoyed that
Where
that
did
they
this game
look
come
like
from?
her.
Oh my god. She fucking walked off again without answering goddamn questions. Why is she keep doing
Fucking
that?
As you walk off, Alice shouts out loud, like,
Red!
what I know is apparently a month ago, I still can't believe it's only been a month. That's stupid. A month ago, I did my weekly check-in with Red because it sucks losing a friend. It still hurts. I miss her every day. She meant the world to me. Hell, I even hooked them up, which is a great memory that's now getting ruined every time I see that fucking face walking around or floating in the sky. I did a monthly check-in because we just have to do that because if you don't, I was worried they were going to fall over the edge and do something reckless. I went to their place. They made me a great cup of tea. We just had a nice moment of catching up and checking in on one another. I asked about all these sheets of paper on their coffee table that was like character sheet stuff, and I was very confused because I thought they gave up the gaming stuff, but it looked like they were working on something. And they cheekily gave me my sheet, which she just points at herself, which did not think this would be a thing that would happen. I can't believe the most ridiculous thing I could write on a piece of paper actually visually happened. Fucking stupid. Like she takes the gun out to just show it. Like no one would ever use this in real life. I mean, this thing doesn't even make sense physically in a real sense. Like no gun would
I
work
showed
like this.
Diva's gun. Yeah, I know.
And that's when she looks at you now, very much kind of terrified. Like, what the fuck did you do to your arm?
That's what I'm saying. It just fucking happened.
And in that
And then
moment,
I pop up the other gun. That's the Mass Effect one. I got two guns. Pop it back down.
okay, no, now I feel a little bit better because at least I'm not the only nerd. Thanks. Also, so on point for you. Like, Jesus Christ. Come on, Ava. I'm going to point out at that moment, Edie has a download bar going, and you don't know what it is.
Oh no!
I keep that real quiet. I just
That's
wait for
a
that to
that's
go.
a. I see this when I was young.
Anything
Thank
between me and
you,
Evie is good
LimeWire.
I can't believe this is how I hated the description that was on the sheet, and I was like, no, I want to look the way I want to look. And I always saw this dress that I'd found on a Pinterest board that was really pretty. Points at the dress. Stockings I thought would be a funny joke because everyone always just calls me Alice because points at the hair is what it is. Also, I have fucking Alice tattoo. And somehow that led to him and I having a laugh, and then next thing I know, we both realized we were holding one another's hand, and then I went in for a kiss. And they didn't reciprocate. They actually leaned in as well. And I look in the room, or Alice looks in the room. It's like, and we had a very pleasant night, as you
I quote
looks at
again
Ava,
what's in her
clearly
journal.
saw. Yeah, clearly saw. Private.
Didn't know. Evie didn't
and-
tell me the title of it.
It's fine. You can control that, but it's fine. It is what it is. It's happened. And then I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and they had the most beautiful smile on their face that I've ever seen. And I went into the kitchen, or was going to grab a drink, and then my eye caught this tiny box with points to her ear with the earring, the D6 in it. And I just thought it'd be funny to just do that ritual just for the hell of it, not expecting this. That was a shock. I did not expect that to happen. I still can't believe I'm here. And yes, I've tried multiple times to do that ritual to go home. It didn't work. And I even thought the people who I genuinely thought were you guys, because Jesus Christ, they looked exactly like you. Nope, it wouldn't let me go home. They even tried it with me, didn't work. And that's when she points at each of your die one at a time. It's like, and I think it's because yours are glowing and yours are the real ones. And that's when you have this weird moment where she turns her head and you see for the briefest of seconds that D6 glistens and then it stops. It's like, yeah.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Something deep in the recesses of my brain.
And then
Didn't
and then
Red
she looks around the
say-
room, like, I don't know where Camille went, but yeah.
Didn't Red say that she got the game from Zoe's old stuff?
They never even got, wait, really?
I think that was the explanation.
I didn't even
But
get around to asking him that. I saw some book on their coffee table with all those papers. I never got around to asking where they got it. What the fuck? As you're contemplating that, Mara, all of you notice, you first though, you turn around because you hear the door open. And this person walks in, fairy purple robes with a little bit of blue. They have golden antlers on the top of their head. And for you specifically, because I call them out, and all of you can see them, you immediately have a moment where you recognize that face as your younger sister. Which also, I want to ask a question. How many siblings does Mara have?
Yes, too. She has an older sister and a little sister.
It's your younger sister because that 5 foot height is consistent, and it's much shorter now that you're 6'2". But you see her walk in, and again, it's this weird visual because you're like, last time I saw my sister, she wasn't having a kid.
Right.
This woman walks in like, oh, sorry, I don't mean to come in here uninvited. And Alice looks at her very confused, like, I'm sorry, who are you? She's like, hi, actually, I have an appointment with, and she points at Mara with her.
I look at literally Ava and Yang and Alice. Hell, I even look at Mission. I'm like, the fuck is happening? An appointment?
Your friend, what's her name? And she does this adorableness of trying to think about it, and it just looks, I hate to say it looks cute because she just looks adorable. She's small and tiny. She just looks at you like, oh, your friend, she's got the veil over her face. She helped set this up. I think her name's Camille.
Naturally, she is not here. Okay, great. Good. This is gonna go well.
Yeah. Do you mind if we talk outside?
What?
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, you're for real. Okay.
And everyone sees her. You all see this person.
Um,
We're all
I-
just looking at you
I'm
now,
just
Mara,
like,
like,
boom, boom,
I-
boom, back and forth.
Um,
like,
we're not
I
going
am-
anywhere. So if you have something to take care of,
Where the
I'm-
fuck is Camille?
Yang doesn't want to leave Mara alone with this new person, and so Yang's gonna be like, as Mara's legal representation, I would like to be in attendance for this meeting.
Ham just goes out loud saying, "Me too."
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And she looks at you, gently walks up to you, very politely. It's like, I promise nothing bad is going to happen. I just have a appointment to talk with them. And you look at them, Yang, and they have the same style of antlers as Mara. 1-for-1 match.
Okay, well that's fucking weird.
I'm gonna turn to Mara and say, if you feel comfortable going with them, I can. And then I'll gesture towards my head,
I figure.
guardian you, but
Yeah.
if not, I'll do whatever it takes to come with you.
Considering I have no idea what this is about, Yang. I mean, she's pregnant. What is she gonna do? Like, and she wipes away some of the inkiness from her face that's still there. She's like, it'll be fine. It's gonna be fine, right? Like,
This mysterious person pulls out a handkerchief and just politely holds it out to you. It's like, here you go. Better to wipe that than your fingers. Just thanks. I
Okay.
promise she'll be fine.
okay, well,
I just want to talk. I have an appointment that was set up. Mutual friend.
where the fuck is Camille? Okay, okay, it's fine. You know what? Just stand on the other side of the door. You'll just
Okay.
hear a little ding, ding, ding. If I do that, it's like 3 knocks. You just help me.
All right. Yeah. We're ready.
And when she says this, she kind of looks over at Ava and she's like,
I just kind of like,
like
I just gotta like look at you and then like kind of tucked in like my cloak, just kind of like pull up that like pocket watch that I still have. So like only Mara sees. I'm like, you still have this, right?
Yep, and it's 100% Mission's pocket watch.
the one.
Come back.
Not the one you have. It's
Oh, I
the
was
other
like,
one.
it's the one she gave me. It's Pat Balls.
No, it's the other one that fell out of her hands last session and got
Oh,
broken.
okay, great, beautiful, great. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go outside. And she kind of looks at Ava and is like, she's like, it's gonna be fine. We have lots of exit strategies here. All right, like,
And this person who, again, what was your sister's name? Just to make it easier.
Nicolette.
Oh, that's a great name. Nicolette, she looks up at you. Because, again, our running joke of everyone looks up at you. She just gives you the nicest smile you have ever seen. And it brings forth any memories you have of that person in real life. It brings all of that forward. Whether your younger sister is good, bad, that's up to you. You can tell me however you want, but you look at them and they just give you this genuine look of like, I promise it's just a chat. Let's just go on this. Just if you don't mind opening the door, just to make it easier. I feel like you're a giant of a lady.
And you're giant of a person in a different way. And she like opens the door like
She just walks by and says, "Tell me about it," and just gently
Sorry.
sways side to side. And you follow through, and the door shuts. And I will pick up with you in a little bit. For Ava and Yang, Guardian is on. Mara, you feel it. It's there. I will keep track of that. Also notify me of it too, in case I forget. But it's
All
there.
right.
Ava, Yang, Alice. 3 of you are now in that room. Red is still in the other room. They haven't popped out yet.
Is Mission
It's just
still
one of
around,
those.
or-
Mission is not in the room. Mission actually left
Okay,
because
cool.
she saw
Good.
when Alice had that realization and kind of plopped to the ground. It's like, I'm going to give all of you space. I'm out of here. And just, I'm
Good.
going to go check in on things.
Appreciate that.
Alice is just, again, looking at you like, again, like, I didn't expect this to happen. And I'm still like, I know all of you, now that Mara, she looks towards the door, now that Mara's not here, I mean, it's been a weird like, again, I don't know how to explain time here. I've been here a long time. And if you're to ask me, do I want to stay or go? I want to go home. I'm as great as fascinating as this has been. I have seen things I never want to see again. I had to, and she points in the room where Red is. I had to fight someone who looked like him, and it caused all of the problems outside. Like that's, yeah.
Just like quick little like sidebar. I want to continue on this conversation. I don't want to like be the one to say it for Red. But let's stick with she, her while we're in this world. I think it's healing for them.
True. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put it that way. It's just I felt like in the moment it was easy to delineate, but also you have a very that's fair. That's rude of me. I apologize for her. Thank you. But
Second, so glad to know you're not like dead. I mean, it's only like been a month. It was a little weird. I hadn't seen like and answer my texts. Now
I know, and I'm sorry. I just
don't fucking
apologize.
Fine. I'm glad you're alive as much as all of us are. Also very comforted at the fact that now I know that if we do get to go home, we're not going to wake up in a coffin because our bodies are unconscious somewhere because you fully disappeared, which means we fully disappeared, which means my mom's not going to find me passed out in front of a Zoom call, which honestly has been a big weight lifted off my shoulders.
Oh Jesus, that would have been
has a key to my apartment and she will bust in if I don't answer in a couple of days, which she probably already has. I hope she's fed Frank. Anyway, just wanted to say
she
that
gives you this look of who's
Frank?
Frank?
My lizard.
Do weird glazed open eyes like do they look like the
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
lizard?
they do.
That explains so much. That was so weird.
Yeah. Add it to reason 500 list. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you. I mean, I would if you want to go home, you have my vote. I can't keep doing this. If I'm here any longer, I'm gonna wrong. I've already been broken. I don't want to be broken again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think me or Yang or Camille or anyone that you need to convince. It's the other two, but
right.
I think I don't want to speak for Camille because she's not here currently, but I think our plan, we wanted to save this world. If it continues on without us being here, we don't want to leave them in ultimate destruction. I'd also like to know why this. There was a funeral for Zoe, right? Like body included and all. Okay.
I can confirm that because I was there when she gets really, really sad. It's like I was there when Phoenix woke up. I came that day when he woke up and she was not waking up.
Okay.
I was the first person he called.
Don't want to make you relive.
I don't ever want to see a visual like that again. Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm that.
No, that's
Floating
fine.
Scary
That's
Zoe is not ours.
The way, and this is where she looks at you is like, I know you have that file, I would assume, of what the game is. It feeds off us. It brings that stuff to the forefront. Like, I don't know how to talk about it other than, again, I saw your actual faces 100 years ago. You guys helped me fight off someone that looked exactly like Red not not that version, but you know what I mean.
Right.
And then they were gone, and I got so depressed because I thought that was the end, and that literally, like, just how do you go on from something like that? And then I realized, like, the only thing I could do was help Mission rebuild all this and make sure everyone was safe.
Did our characters just
Like-
disappear? Did they die?
I don't know what happened to them. They were just gone. I've never felt as, like, you know me, I try not to be as vulnerable or appear that way because my life is, she says this while laughing, my life is awesome. My life has not been awesome for 100 years.
Yeah.
I can't think of any moment in the past 100 years that has been, I could look back on and say it was a great time. This has been a lot of work. And I'm tired.
Can I just for like flavor teleport down to like the coffee shop that has the who actually looks like Phoenix, or like the bar, order
Yeah, the
like
tavern,
some coffee.
the WAY.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Teleport back.
I'm gonna say though,
like drinks.
because I have to do it, because you don't have line of sight. Roll your D.
No, I don't want to do it. I just want to do it for flavor. I don't want to.
No, I promise it won't be something too bad. I just have a funny thing in mind.
Okay.
You have
dex,
my
right?
word.
Right.
Nothing. Yeah, D10. If it's odds, it works fine. If it's even, something will happen along with it.
That's a 2.
You immediately do teleport. You, weirdly enough, the bartender looks like Phoenix, which that brings a question up for Alice. Just saying. What do you order?
Just whole entire carafe of coffee and some Dixie
Yep.
cups.
Nice.
And he just looks at you like, you know what? Totally get it. Been a long night. Looks up at the sky, bright as fucking day. Doesn't actually pour the coffee. He hands you the 3 cups. They're already filled, and then he puts an entire thing of like a pitcher of coffee on the tray with you. Just take it. I have a weird, I don't know why, just this weird feeling, but take it.
Thanks. Teleport
And-
again in front of him as much as
Yep.
he loves it.
And because I want to make this more of a funny thing than a bad thing, you do teleport back with the tray. You look down. The 3 cups don't have coffee in them. It's tea.
Yeah, that works. I'm just
And it's just
kinda-
one of those like, well, that didn't work out as I thought it would,
Like,
but
huh,
whatever. It still worked out.
interesting.
And Alice probably looks at you like, I thought you said coffee. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
No.
I just drink from the carafe, not even fucking with the cup.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Whatever your favorite, whatever Ava/Mikey's favorite flavor of tea is, that's exactly what it tastes like.
Oh.
For fun, she's not a tea person. She's like, oh fuck. All right.
She said for
It's like
fun,
just
I'm
sweet
not a
tea. I'm like,
person.
mm-mm. God damn it.
Yep. It's like,
For
you
fun,
know what?
she's
I
gonna
hate this,
hate
and I'm so
this.
sorry. It's like sweet tea.
Yeah.
It's just a little
which-
too sweet.
I hate
Yeah.
real life.
And I'm like, and then Alice takes a sip, and it's like,
I'm the
perfect
worst
cup of
Texan.
Earl
I
Grey.
hate sweet tea.
Also, did you see the guy at the tavern who looks like, you know?
Yeah. I don't even question it
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't know how to answer that. That was one of those weird things too. I don't get that. Because I can look
What
at
is
them
not
and
to
say
get,
their names.
Alice?
I
You've been
can't.
here 100 years. They pull shit from our brain and it exists. So thank you.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Uh,
So sorry.
out of
I'm on edge.
curiosity, out of curiosity, what is Yang's emotional level right now? With
It
all
is at a
this.
3 right now.
Do you feel it's still at a 3? How are you feeling?
I'm worried because Mara is outside talking to someone. There's a part of me that's like excited at having someone else who is also on board with leaving, and perhaps this could be another, like, you know, another like majority vote in our democracy. I mean, I feel like I'm hovering. I feel like I'm still hovering with 3 because nothing else has happened that would make me like less nervous / because I feel like I got a dose of negative and positive nerves right now in Mara and Alice. So I'm staying, standing, dealing with it.
For the first time, Ham kind of just speaks to just you. It's like, hey, you all right? You doing okay? And it's the first genuine moment where they don't sound like they're having anticipation or interest. It seems like Ham is genuinely trying to be like, hey, are you okay? It seems like you're hearing a lot.
I don't think so, Ham. I just want my friends to be okay.
Only because of the way you answered that, I would say as much as I will say it can stay at 3, but it's teetering towards 2.
Okay.
It can stay at 3, but it's very close to 2 because Ham's also saying back to you, yeah, I'm with you. I don't know them that well, but I'm hoping everyone's okay. I'm excited to see where your friend went off to, but also I hope they're okay.
Yeah.
Red has not re-entered the room, by the way.
Yeah,
You're not
I
sure
think,
what's going
like,
on with that.
after we've like had some tea, kind of like chatted, just don't want to press Alice anymore, especially since I apparently have more memories downloading in my head currently. I do kind of want to just like be like enjoy that dirt water. I'm gonna go check on Red. But Yang, could you just like come here for just like a second as I start to like
Yeah.
walk towards the door where Red is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like you've got your thing on Mara. So far, the vitals still alive. Heartbeat's up, but that's fine.
Okay. Good.
Just like keep an eye on Alice, I guess. But now the freaking mission's gone. And she'll like pull out like the pocket watch. I can teleport. Camille has a god that moves her around.
Yeah.
Mara has one now. Do you, just in case you need to get somewhere fast, you want to hold on to it? It's kind of useless in my hands. I fixed it. It should work.
Sure. Yeah. I'll hold on to it. This will help a lot. I'm just running.
Yeah, it'll help. And if anything pings, you can get there fast.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to see how Red is doing and if we can get her out of her closet.
Right.
And maybe on the same page as us.
Yeah. Good luck. Let me know if you need me. I'll just be here.
Will do.
As you do that, I'm going to say Alice walks up to Yang and she just kind of, I'm going to scene change this in a second. She just walks up to you and is like, mind if we just catch up? Like, oh my God, it's so good to actually see that it's actually you. And again, you look so much, it's just the weirdest. And she starts cracking up because it's just like,
Yeah.
you look so much like Kevin because you are Kevin, but also like, oh my God, you're actually Kevin.
Yeah.
Also, you have
yeah.
a talking hammer. What the fuck?
Right. I will admit, when I made my character, I just wanted it to be me, but cooler. So I'm just saying.
I mean, the thing is, though, you were already cool.
Alice, what?
I've
You're the
watched
one.
your stuff online that you posted. Your stuff's awesome.
Hey, you're one of 3 people that watched online.
I'm the other.
Yeah.
Actually, you say that before you go in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn
shut
straight
the
you
door.
are. You're selling
Shut
out
the door.
venues, Alice. I feel bad because I know we're still like friends on social media, but I unfollowed you because it just hurt kind of to see how good you were.
I mean, if it helps, I get that. I mean, I don't know what the hell's up with the luck that I've had, but it's really just been the right place at the right time. But also, to be honest, I do that for quite a few friends of mine who are much better than I am. I call it a little bit of pettiness on my end, but also, we all do it. It's fine. And you're far better than you're giving yourself credit for fuck's sake.
Thank you.
Yeah. With that, Mara, this woman walks through the door you open, and you walk behind them. You turn around, close the door, and then when you turn back around after you close the door behind you, you're no longer in the tower. You're not even in the city. It's very
No!
perplexed
What's
because
happening?
this doesn't make any sense to you. It's like, how the hell did that just change? You're in an area that has the most vibrant, beautiful colors you've ever seen in your life. There are the deepest greens, the most vibrant purples. To make it fun and cheeky, you see giant, almost mushroom-like structures here and there.
What the fuck? Okay.
And you see this woman who looks so much like your sister Nicolette, which again, that's a great name. I love that. And she just looks at you like, I figured a familiar set of scenery makes more sense. You know, Fae.
Oh.
Not really. I'm not really Fae. It's just a good
Mm.
visual.
Oh, okay. So you don't this isn't real for you?
Oh no, it's real. It's just I'm not a Fae.
Oh. Okay. Go on.
She holds her hand up to you, like, walk with me.
Okay.
By the way, you can call me Nona. My name is Nona.
Hey,
And for
Nona.
you, I will let you decide. If you want, you may roll intelligence to see if you recognize the name from Greek myth.
Fudge. Okay.
And again, it's because I always want to make sure I bring it up because we don't dice roll that often in this game, and I know it gets confusing.
We don't.
The
Okay.
number for intelligence is how many d6s. Anything that's a 4+ counts as a success.
Okay, bet. I'm gonna roll intelligence. And I got 1 success.
You know the name, and you immediately know, like, oh, that's a god's name.
I don't say anything. I just know it.
And when your realization kicks in, you see that when you're now looking at her, she has golden thread wrapped around her antlers. And they kind of just are interwoven between both hands, but her hands can move freely. She's like, walk with me, if you don't mind.
Okay.
When you do, again, this scenery and location, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. You've never seen scenery or like a forest or something like that ever in your life.
Mm.
It's just the saturation of green is to the point where it's like it's just so goddamn green. The purple is so bright purple, but also there is pink as well, and the pink is the most saturated, vibrant pink you've ever seen in your life.
I
Or
love
maybe
it.
it kind of is one of those things like if you stare too long at it, you can tell it kind of burns in the retinas a
Oh.
bit, where you just look
Yeah.
not like in a bad way, just more like you look elsewhere and you're like, oh, I see that pink now everywhere.
Yes.
There's like a beautiful lake off in the distance that just glistens with the light hitting it. And as you're walking with her, you even see the interestingness that is these flying sprite-like figures here and there. They don't come up to you. They just kind of are off in the distance flying to and from. You see animals here and there. You don't see anyone that looks like you yet. You just see her and she has the antlers. So, I apologize for ripping you away from that wonderful moment with your friends, I imagine.
Yeah.
I'm actually here on behalf of someone else. Her name, obviously your friend Camille, but also her god, her patron, Proserpina. I'm here on behalf of something I helped them with.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you kind of.
I really thought that was like Camille's thing.
Well, not to be rude, and I apologize because I want to be respectful towards you. She's being very gentle. If you're holding her hand, she's being extremely gentle with you. It's like, I don't mean to be rude in saying this. You kind of broke someone and I fixed them.
Oh,
It's fine. Things like
thank
that
you.
can happen. It's yeah, no problem.
because that was an accident.
I imagine no one has any intentions of purposely wanting to break unless it's malicious intent, which she looks at you very clearly saying, but you don't come across as that kind of person.
Be correct.
Yeah. She takes her hand away from you. She kind of puts it just one hand on the side, one resting up top. Just sways side to side as she walks forward into like this gorgeous field that again, you've just never seen colors like this. She's like, yeah, so here's the thing and why I did that favor instead of Proserpina. You intrigue me. Because the reading I get off of you is you want something that you currently do not have. And if you don't know who I am already, let's just say fate can be rewritten if you so choose. So if you like, I want to make a deal with you.
Me. I'm look, I'm not the are you sure? I'm not the god binder. Like that's not
Oh, I
don't
know. I don't want to pact with her. She's clearly all about Proserpina, and she laughs saying that. Like that's her thing. I don't really want to mess with death. That's not my thing.
Oh.
And she says death. When she says death, it's like, yeah, clearly you don't want to mess with death. Like, hello, lady.
Yeah, like, and it's a moment of realization for Mara, right? Like, you're like, oh yeah, the imagery, but there's never been confirmation to Mara and Yang and Ava.
Yeah. And she's just like, if you're up for it, I'd like to strike a deal.
Okay. Does it? Okay, can I hear the deal first, or do I have to agree beforehand? Like, is this something I can learn, or is this something I have to do?
Oh, you can hear it beforehand. I'm not that cruel. And she laughs out loud. I promise I will not. This is something you get to decide on, and then I will not try to influence you in any way. I will tell you every parameter of it. If this was Proserpina, yeah, she would probably fuck with you.
Fair
Camille
point.
is the
Okay.
only your friend Camille is the only one she will not mess with on that level.
Oh.
That's a mutual level of respect. You, I will respect everything you ask, and I will tell you to the T and make sure you know it clear as day.
Okay. Spill the beans.
She once again beckons you to follow her as she walks forward, and she leads you towards a nice area. There's like gorgeous, whatever Eden's favorite flowers are, it's those flowers.
Okay.
And it's like a nice
So,
sitting, it's like a bench nearby it too. And you have this adorable style mushroom house right next to it.
okay, so it's it's really funny because her favorite flower are tiger lilies, which, if you know anything about tiger lilies, are called ditch flowers. And and so that like so any the orange and the freckled leaves and like all of that, like that's what she sees.
Off in the distance, by the way, the center of that lake is like this sort of structure that just pops out from it. And at the top is this most Disney-esque castle just sitting there like a picture perfect piece of scenery.
Oh.
She sees this place to sit and immediately takes it. It's like, oh, that's so much better. Anyways, if you don't mind that, I'm sitting. I know. That said, if you don't mind sitting with me so I don't have to look up so high.
Sure.
Not to make I'm not making fun. You have a wonderful height, but it's also just really tall.
It's so relatable for me.
Right.
God, what a wonderful problem to have. I mean, come on.
Look, tall girl things are things, that's for sure. And I don't deal with them, but I know people who do.
Meanwhile, meanwhile, I'm a perfectly acceptable height in every way.
Grocery shopping takes me 3 times as long. That's why I use online orders, because all the old ladies ask me to get everything from the top shelf, and I can't say no to them, but good God.
Stop.
That just made my
I'm
night.
so sorry,
happy.
but also, dang, I can't say I'm not one of those old ladies. Okay.
Not always been old
Hi.
ladies.
Hi,
And
you're really tall. Can you help me?
and at the same time, I'm like, cool. You're not. Can you get that thing on the bottom shelf? It really hurts my back to like reach in there. You know, it's a give and take.
See, it's an equal balance thing.
It's
It
a
works.
balance,
Equivalent
right?
exchange.
Yep.
Love. Yes,
When you
Mara sits
sit-
down. Yeah.
Yeah, when you sit, she has a moment where both hands reside exactly where they need to. She probably just like, oh, okay, give me 1 second. That hurts. Ow. Okay. No, just don't worry. Sitting is just a pain in the ass sometimes because you
Oh,
just never
okay.
get comfortable. So here's the thing I want to ask. And I ask this knowing it's not an easy question to ask. Fate can be rewritten, and with you, you can be read clear as day, even if your friends don't see it. You want something you don't have, and I want to know what it is and how I may be of service to help change that. And yes, I will label consequences for getting what you want, but I want to know, what do you want? Because she holds the thread up and it's like the exact color as your antlers. Like your color is shining very brightly, and I want to know why. And I'd like to help you find what that is that you want and maybe give it to you.
So, for a brief moment, Mara has this moment where it's like a flash, right? What I would consider it's not like a past or anything necessarily. I think it's a reminder from like her life before this moment here, and I guess I would liken it to to like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man moment. Like truly, it is. It is. It's like okay, no, not that type of thing, but it's too late.
Yep.
Like, and she looks and Nona and is like, I couldn't want for anything.
Are you sure?
No, but I think I'm outvoted and I'm not staying.
Who knows? Maybe the thing you want will come back with you.
Okay.
When she says this, she's not sitting anymore. She actually finally stands back up, and it's just like, no, I can't sit. That's just not comfortable. Mm. And does like a very big stretch, and the thread follows the hands upwards, and it just
So
the thread
weird.
never looks like it breaks. It just keeps looking like it'll always bend to her will. Anything is possible. Never assume something that you want cannot be achieved. And whether you stay, as you're saying, or go, who's to say something can't go back with you? No one decides that. I can't even decide that, and I help spin fate. But you looks at your antlers, looks at your makeup, looks at your appearance. It's like, my dear, you have so much power, and yet why are you so feeling like you don't have the things you want? What do you want? I will help bring it to you. Just as I mentioned, there might be things that we need to discuss along the way.
Can Nona read Mara's mind? I need to know this.
Nope.
Okay.
You can just feel that you want something. And she even, again, has shown you visually there is some thread happening that's showing your horn, the color of your antlers. And it's just way too bright. And it's like, I don't ever answer or try to seek someone out, but like, this is clear as day, something that's never happened. And I want to help however I can.
You're wanting me to tell you what I want?
Oh yeah, I don't read minds. I respect privacy. Sorry, that was really funny, Taylor.
It was. It was great. Um. Okay. In this moment, Mara is going through what her life was before she was here. And though she explained to Yang and to Ava, like, hey, look, like I have nothing outside of here. I would say it's one of those moments where it's like that timeline flashback, right?
Oh yeah.
And I am going to take this opportunity to use a flashback as well. It is a moment in which her Eden and her now ex-husband are speaking to one another, and it's kind of a heated argument. And it's not an argument in which each other are yelling at one another. It's like you can tell she's visibly crying, and she is really upset. And she says, you know, I wish this could happen for us, but it's not happening. Like I don't know what to do. I can't I don't think I can do this again. Like and what you're witnessing is actually what led to Mara and or Eden and her husband to getting a divorce. And they had been trying for a child. But I think in that moment, Eden had realized that she wanted a kid. She just didn't want a kid with him.
Yeah. Do you... Yeah, she's looking at you for an answer at this moment, but she's not pushing you. She's letting you lead. And she even puts a hand, like, she does something that probably throws you off. She actually kneels down and just puts a hand on your leg. It's like, take your time. You have all the time in the world. And that's when you notice everything is frozen around you.
But I have to go back to my friends.
I'll make sure of that.
Okay. So she spends, I would say, probably the next like 20 minutes telling Nona what she really wants. What she really wants is something that she can call family, with no strings attached. It's a choice. Like she doesn't want to do it because it's what she should have done. She doesn't want to do it because she's all American and has that straightforward facing life. Like she is doing this because like she wants something that it's like the ties that bind, right? Like the things that keep us tethered. And that is what she's wanting.
Humorously after that, because I'm not trying to be funny for the sake of it, it's just the visual of this is funny to me. She is obviously on the ground, has a hand, like she's kneeling, has a hand on you. It's like she's listened to every word you said. She didn't interrupt you at all. She took every word in, and she never took her gaze off you when you spoke. You might have had moments where I know when I talk because I do it on stream and I'm very self-conscious about this, so I apologize because everyone can call me out on it. Whenever I'm talking and I'm running a game, I have trouble looking at people. This is just a real life thing. It's my anxiety. I deal with it every day. So I'm going to imagine when you're doing this, you're probably having that same thing of just like you're explaining it, looking at her, but you're not always looking at her because it's just in the moment of explaining something, your eyes can go wherever. She never once takes her gaze off you the entire time you explain all that. And the first thing she says to you that probably makes you laugh is, do you mind actually helping me get back up? This is not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, for sure. Like Mara's like, oh yeah, oh like, it was like a moment
Oh,
of
thank
like,
you.
and she like grabs her hand and helps her up, like,
Thank you. That's it's not easy carrying the literal life of everything on you at all times.
Oh, okay.
Here's the deal. If you're up for it, follow me. We're gonna go. I want to take you somewhere. And she just starts walking. She actually leans when she was leaning down. She picks up a bunch of the tiger lilies and just starts like making like a sort of like bouquet of the sort of it,
Mm,
and just hands it off to you as you're walking.
thanks. Like, I love
As she's
them. That's my
walking,
favorite.
you walk towards that shoreline. Everything is frozen around you. Like she's just taking you this picture perfect painting of a moment, just looking out at this water, seeing that giant structure with what looks like a castle in the distance. It's the most beautiful scenery. It just doesn't look real. Because obviously we're in a game. It's probably not real, but it doesn't look real. It's like, if that's what you want, I can grant that. You decide in the moment if it's a thing that happens now or later on, but I can grant that for you. Just know the consequences with that are she just points at her. It's like, if you want it now, you're going to put your hands right here, and I'm going to transfer something. And in terms of whatever that is, whatever good, bad there is in this world, that comes with it. Because I have and she looks off at the castle. It's like, this, nothing is ever scotch free. No one gets off easy and clean. There's always consequences with everything. Mine for you is just a simple, you just don't know what you're going to have if it is here now or comes later.
Stop.
It is just the guessing game of,
Shut the fuck
is
up.
this
Okay.
good or is this bad? I don't know.
Great.
But also hearing that story, I'm not going to refuse anything if you want it. It's entirely up to you. And the bigger thing too is, will it come back with you if you apparently, as you say, go?
I'm outnumbered at this point. Like,
I will neither confirm or deny if it comes back with you. You'll just have to find out.
okay, Mara in this moment doesn't give a flying fuck. She is not thinking about going home. She doesn't give a fuck what Ava says. She doesn't give a fuck what Red is thinking. She does not give a fuck about anybody else. Like, she is like the one thing that she has wanted for several years done. It is like, and it's just, she doesn't say anything to Nona. It's just a nod. Like, yeah.
Okay. And with that, I'm going to jump back to Ava and Yang.
Fuck. Okay.
Ava, you go in the room where Red is, and God, I haven't said I'm in a while. That's weird. I'm going through the books and just, I don't recognize that you walk in yet. I'm just kind of going through this stuff and going slowly one page at a time through one of them. And I'm going to say, if Yang jumps into the room as well, by all means, just let me know.
I'll just kind of like walk in, like kind of knowing the journals and stuff in my head, kind of grab the general one that like talks about them and just kind of like sit it in front of Red and just sit down kind of wherever they're at.
And it's the one that's like the memory of when Alice left. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't look at you. I just take it and I'm just kind of frozen on that one page. It's like, well, at least she wrote it down. And at least she wrote it as a happy memory. That makes me happy. I genuinely thought I scared her away that night.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Well, no, it's not fine, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, as fine as it can be in this moment. I don't.
Sorry, I just don't know how to react because I can't believe she did that, and that's where she's been for however long she's been here.
I have a lot I need to say. But first,
Are you gonna yell at me?
no, I
Oh,
don't
thank God.
think.
Even though
could
I feel
yell
like I
more.
deserve it, but thank God.
Are you 100% truthful in saying that you just found this game and Zoe's stuff?
I am 100% truthful. I found this game in Zoe's stuff, and I've never seen it before until I found it at that moment. I swear, and I hold up the D20, I swear on my name and this stupid piece of shit, I am telling the truth. I would not lie to you about that, or any of you about that. I had no idea this is what was going to happen. And I won't lie, I still like that this is an escape from reality, and I look outside the door where, again, if Yang decides to walk in, I probably see you walk in, or I just see the doors open and I see Alice just sitting on, like, just talking to you probably. It's whatever you decide to do.
I'm chilling with Alice right now.
Yeah, you two are having a great talk. And actually, you know what? I'm going to make this cheeky. You're just taking time to catch up. And she's being like, she's looking at Ham. I'm so sorry. I need to add this moment because I just think it'd be funny. You're having this conversation with her, and it's just, there's Ham. And like, Ham is just being like, oh, yeah, this is great. You're so wonderful. And she just looks at you like, oh, dude. So, like, obviously, I have the sword, which awesome. Hey. Gun, really weird. I don't know why there are guns in this world. It makes no sense. She maybe looks in the room where Ava is for the briefest of a second. Like, I can't imagine gun arm. That's just strange. But I also have something else, and it's really cool, and I can call it whenever I want. And she's like, just snaps her fingers. And I'm going to instigate a flashback for a second, which is whenever we played our game in college, we always played at my apartment for Phoenix. And in college, that's where Alice and Phoenix met, and they eventually bought an apartment together about like a mile or two down the street from the college. And the most prominent thing that you all would have seen is in their living room where you guys played, because it was always in the living room. Somehow I had a giant coffee table that could fit all miniatures, everyone's character sheet, all the dice, all that. It was just, why do you have this table? Where the hell did you get it? No one has this kind of money for a good table like this. Come on. But the thing that was always prominent in that living room was an item of Alice's, and it's this perfectly pristine white bass guitar. And no one ever touched it. The only person who touched it was Alice. And because I'm going to keep these stupid allegories going forward, she always referred to it as, yeah, Phoenix, can you hand me my white rabbit?
Ooh.
And she looks at you, Yang, flashing forward. It's like, oh yeah, and somehow I can't believe this came here with me. Snaps her fingers. That white bass guitar is in her hands.
Wait. I've always wanted to play that.
I mean, honestly, it's indestructible apparently in this world. I've had moments where it should have broken. It hasn't broken yet, so by all means.
Are you sure? Because whenever I was
it's
around...
Not, trust me, if it was the real one, I would never let anyone touch it, but this is clearly not the real one, so please take it and have fun with it. But like, I can apparently call it whenever I want, and yeah. I didn't realize on the character sheet stuff that the fool can also kind of be a bard. So I kind of wrote down I had my guitar, not thinking it would actually come with me.
This is sick, and I'll play it so poorly.
And you two are just having, and you're just slapping. And the thing is, you're doing it just as good as she could.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm going to say, because in this world, anything is possible. So if you think you can play that bass really damn good, you're playing that bass damn good. And she's just like, Yang, fuck yeah. And Ham's just like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Oh my God, I didn't know you could do this.
Whoa, Ava, I can play the guitar.
And we both just look at you like, thumbs up. Awesome. Alice just looks at me and is, yeah, good.
I was saying, like, I think it, like, first it is like a very like trying to put on a smile because it's just like dumb.
Yeah, me too.
But then like seeing the excitement and like it is a little like what's the word? addictive, I guess, or like I've started to feel I'm just
It's
like
contagious. Smiling is
contagious.
always
Thank you.
contagious.
Give like a genuine kind of smile back. A little laugh.
I do the same, and then Alice and I lock eyes, and then she doesn't look at me. She turns back towards Yang, and you two just have a good moment of just back and forth, probably handing the base off,
Yeah.
and her trying to be a show off, but you're showing off just as much as she is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Ham's just like, I love this. Yes. And somehow you don't know why both of you start hearing clapping, and you just look at Ham like, you can do that?
Wow. How?
What? And Ham's just like, I didn't know I could do that. Sweet. For Ava and me.
Yep.
I
We'll just
swear
kinda
I
turn
had
back.
no idea. I just swear I've never saw that book before until that moment. I have no idea where she got it. It was eerie. And I never got around to asking Alice about it because the next day when I woke up, she wasn't there, and I got worried that I did something wrong. And in that moment, because I feel like this is fun, my D20, when I say Alice, turns blue. And that's the first time I look at it and I'm like, that's never happened.
Yeah, it did. Last night.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I didn't tell you because I thought you were a lying piece of shit. But
Okay,
yeah.
lay it on thick there.
Sorry, I haven't gotten to my apology yet, so I'm just gonna like get it all in now while I can. But yeah, it was on the table and it changed colors and the sky, it went dark, right? Like it flashed dark for a second and like came back.
It flashed in the sky and the D20 turned blue, and then it
Yeah.
snapped back to red right after.
Yeah. So I think blue is what it's supposed to be. Maybe, I don't know.
You know, it'd be really funny if it was a mood ring.
You're looking pretty blue right now.
I don't even know how to react to that.
Look,
I'll
nope.
you go first. You go
I
first.
apologize first.
Yep, please do it.
I have said a lot of things. I have been very confused on this world and what's happening, and I wrongfully put you as the catalyst of all of it in a moment there at the beach. And I don't know. I have come to realize I may be a little quick to judge, slow to forgive, and have a bad habit of making everyone else seem worse so I feel better about myself. And I'm sorry that since we've been here, you became the subject of that because you don't deserve it. And this is all fucked up and weird, and I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in your head. And I'm sorry I added more to that.
Honestly, I do deserve it. I don't think I don't. I mean, at the same time, I again had no idea this would happen. I still can't believe Zoe is that thing in the sky. I don't like that I look like her because now I look at Alice, someone I deeply care about now won't even look at me.
You weren't going to know anything.
I don't think you have any need to. I accept the apology, but I also feel like I deserve it. If I've learned
you are
anything right
truthful,
now, I feel like, yeah.
If you're being 100% truthful, you don't have anything to apologize. You wanted to get your friends together and relive us as friends having fun before all of our lives hit us. And there's no fucking crime in that. And whatever this bullshit is, It's out of your control.
Just yeah.
Which is weird to say because it is fully in your control. Oh my god, can you please make to where we can say our real life names again? Please. I read the rules. I know you can do it now. Yes, you can. I flipped to the rule book and grab it and point.
Wait, how'd you flip through the rule book?
There's a computer.
Oh, okay. And this is where I will finally do this. I will spend a token as the GM. And I say it in the most dramatic way possible, which is and I look so stupid when I do this too, Ava. I raise one of my hands up like snap my fingers like nothing more need be said. Say your names as they should be. Does that work?
I look in through the like door, kind of like lean so I can see Alice and Yang again. I'm like, Kevin. Yes. Yes.
And you 100% say Kevin.
What?
And then Kevin, you hear that.
I'm gonna run in and say, what did you need?
Kevin.
Oh my god, Kevin.
Kevin.
Doesn't even register
What?
that you guys
What?
are saying his real name.
What? Kevin!
What? What do you guys want?
What do you
Yeah, it's like, no, your name.
Kevin.
Kevin, what's my name?
Phoenix.
Oh, we can do it!
And that's when Alice just now looks at me, and that's the final confirmation of being like, that is Phoenix. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
In that moment, we're gonna end on this because I feel like it's a good point to do something. We don't know where Camille is. It's a very big question mark at the moment. But multiple things happen, which is all of us have, the three of us, or four of us technically that are in that room, we all just scream each other's names for the next 2 to 3 minutes because we're just like, finally! For fuck's sake!
Kevin, everybody's just saying here everybody's names. Mikey.
Or like random guard outside the door is like,
What
what are they doing?
For sure.
Alice walks up to me and just once again, the most hook of hook moments, puts her hands on my face and just says, Phoenix, you stupid fucking asshole. And gives me a kiss on the cheek.
Yes.
And I finally give her a hug. And we have a moment where we need a moment. And it's kind of that look, you're like, okay, give them a moment.
I just grabbed Kevin.
Yeah.
Push him back.
Yeah.
The problem
yeah.
is,
Kevin.
at the
Wait,
same
what was
time that
Alice's
kiss
real name?
happens,
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
oh
Elizabeth.
yeah, she looks at you and says, and Phoenix doesn't say Alice, he just says, Elizabeth, for fuck's sake.
So like Kevin, you and me, Mikey, should leave Phoenix and Elizabeth alone. Shut the door.
And before you shut the door, this throws you off. Your footing kind of gets thrown off center, and what feels like an earthquake hits.
Oh.
And I mean like a literal earthquake. You feel the room shake, and then you hear the most disturbing noise of what sounds like a crystal cracking at certain points. And that's when me and Alice run out of the room like, did you hear that? Also, are you feeling that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Alice just looks at all of us like, what the and she bolts out of the room and tries to run outside and see if this is happening also outside. Do you follow?
Yeah.
You follow outside. That shaking doesn't stop until you get outside. And then she just looks up at the crystal, and there is this perfect crack in the center of it that is now slowly creeping downward and upward. And anyone who's outside and around, they all look up at it, very confused as to what's happening. And as I said, multiple things happen at once. Mara, you're also outside and you walk up to the group. And this is where I ask a question that I leave up to you.
Okay.
Nona is with you, gives you a gentle pat, walks away. Has your visual appearance changed at all?
Yes.
In what way?
Mara looks to be probably like 8, 9 months pregnant. And she's in all white. She's no longer in all white. It looks same cut of a dress. It's the same dress. It's not as form fitting anymore. It's longer, it's bigger, it's fuller. And the only thing that I can liken it to is Padme Amidala's like gradient dress.
The Attack of the Clones one.
Yeah. And it's it looks like that. But like it's like the full spectrum of a rainbow basically.
Whoa.
And I'm going to say, if the others are okay with it, we're all looking up at the crystal, and we haven't noticed that Mara is now there. And it's probably not till maybe you say something, Mara. Just looking up. Whatever that word is, it's entirely up to you. It could be something like, hi guys, or just like, what the fuck?
Great. Everyone else feel that shaking? It's gonna be great.
Yep, and that's
like
when
nothing
we
about
all
Mara
look at
has
you.
changed except the way she looks. Like nothing about her has changed. Like
And we all look
But
at
the
you,
way
and it's
she
probably a
looks.
collective, what the fuck? And as for Camille,
the
we
fuck
don't
is
see
Camille?
Camille. Camille is
Fuck!
not here. And that is a question that I'm going to leave hanging on us
Ah!
until we come back on the 30th.
It's so far.
Because I don't want, because I'm not going to speak for Beck.
It's so far away.
But as it stands, and this is the weirdest thing I will ever say out loud, and where we're going to pause for now, there is a crack at the center of that giant crystal that is slowly creeping downward, almost like a doomsday clock. Mara is visibly 8 or 9 months along. Alice has forgiven, I would say, Phoenix. You can all say each other's names. So actually, Mara, when you pop up, we all probably say, Eden, what the f-?
Eden!
Eden, what?
Eden!
It's like Eden, but what the
Oh, holy crap! Mikey! Oh my god! Like she says
Yeah,
it in
but it's all this weird
blank
moment, like,
face staring at your stomach.
like she's like, one
and
second.
we will
it's
answer
not.
that weeks from now when we come back for what I'm going to say is
Okay.
our final session on the 30th.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Kind of a weird session, kind of a fun
it
one.
is.
I will not lie, I'm going to check in with the 3 of you when we get off camera, because that was also very heavy tonight, and I want to make sure
Yeah.
you're all okay. But what we'll do for now is go around one by one, and everyone just tell us who you are, where they can find you. If you got anything coming up, let us know, starting with Matt.
Hey, I'm Matt, also known as Improv RPG, and you can find me everywhere under that name. I'll be doing a little sneak peek at a little flabbergasted thing soon, so I'm very excited about that. But thank you so much. Y'all have been wonderful. It's always a blast playing with y'all. I'm excited to see the crack in the world next time. Thank you.
Next, yeah. Me too, actually. I'm intrigued to see what happens. Next up, Holly.
Okay, hey, I'm OMG Holly D everywhere on the internet. Let's be friends. I have something at the end of the month that I think is going to be on Dungeons and Dog Tags, and it's going to be a one shot of Monster of the Week. And I don't have a date for that yet, but it will be towards the end of the month. And that's it for the month of March, because I'm doing some traveling and I'm in school full time. So.
As always, I will go next. So if you want to look up anyone to raid, Taylor, by all means. My name is Nate. I played Red. This was very emotional tonight. Not gonna lie. It's also why I want to check in, because I got emotional, and I'm not showing it, but I really did. If you want to find me online, always a weird thing to say out loud. NateBushman.com. I'm still on the site that will not be named, that has a letter that looks like this. Find me on Blue Sky at Indie Nate. In terms of upcoming things, God, I'm so sorry, HSC. I'll be on here tomorrow and Monday. You just get a full weekend of me, guys. Tomorrow I'll be on here for the part 2 of Moonlight on Rosefield Beach. That part 1 was amazing. I'm that weirdo who totally wanted to be bit in the neck by a thing that looked like a vampire, and then everyone's like, "No, it's a demon succubus. Don't do that." It's like, "Oh, you're all correct. I'm
Oh
stupid."
darn.
But also, I still kind of wanted it to happen. Also, I can turn into a cat. You're welcome. It's true. It's great. And then Monday, I'll be running a one shot of Flabbergasted, and I'm really goddamn excited about it because it's hilariously a social group based around coffee and baked goods that they want to cheekily call
Nice.
themselves at the moment Raising Dough.
Let's
I
go.
love that so
Yes.
much. And then, like I said, we'll be back to conclude this story on the 30th. And with everything that's happened tonight, I have no goddamn clue what you're all going to do because things happened tonight. Did not expect. Don't mean this as a pun. Did not expect. And with that, Taylor, tell you.
Yes, hello. I am Taylor at Potato on the Blue Sky. You can put underscores in other places and probably find me before and after that. You can find me right here. Also on Sunday, tomorrow, playing Moonlight on Roseville Beach, as well as Wednesday for the beginning of Beacons. Woo! Season 2, baby. I'm very excited to be just a
Season
little
2.
guy. I'm such a cute little guy who's
Very.
traumatized by JT.
Mhm.
But you can also find me every Friday over on the HP Emporium, where I run a Thirsty Sword Lesbians campaign called Lust and Dust. We are lesbians, but Mad Maxified. It is great. It is wonderful. We had a plain dogfight combat last session. So
That was very intriguing to me, by the way. That was the first episode I had caught, and I actually really enjoyed it.
yeah, 3 people were fighting in a free fall off of a tower while other 2 were fighting in planes. It was wild. It's very fun.
Oh my
Come hang
God.
out for that. Also, wherever you listen to your podcasts, check out Bloom and Blight as a Girl by Moonlight podcast. I am the GM for it. It is absolutely amazing. My cast is amazing. Our producers and editors are amazing. It's so wonderful. Show it to all your friends so we can continue to just like beat our download numbers. It's amazing. You can also find me. Good God, I have so much going on, and then I have like nothing. But we're almost done with it for a bit, guys. On Apocalyptic Unlimited, a wonderful place full of all POCs in the tabletop space. We are starting a brand new campaign. It'll be every other Monday. It is of Esper Genesis, which is like sci-fi 5e adjacent. It's not like it's a whole rework, but a very similar rule set. It's very fun. We're a little 3-man strike team, a la like Mass Effect. We died and we're brought back because we're badasses. So it's going to be very fun. You can also catch me on Lost Caravan on Mondays that aren't that, playing Lancer, as well as Saturdays playing Fabula Ultima. Here, other things we have going on. Obviously, I've said Moonlight on Roseville Beach tomorrow. Flabbergasted on Monday, Beacons on Wednesday. We also have coming up next Tuesday and every other Tuesday for a little bit Off the Shelf, which is our fun little talk show where if you have something you just want to like share, you do it. Come chat.
Looking forward to mine.
Hot.
I
It's
know.
absolutely-
I can't wait to toss my hat into that.
Yes.
It's such. I've not
looking
missed
forward to mine.
one episode, and I'm going to tell you, both episodes have been so fucking good, in my
So good.
opinion. So fucking good. Like,
So good. It's so fun just hearing what different people are passionate about or know. Last one was people's like kind of job experience. So we had like David talking about video streaming. We had Ronaldus talking about like police training and like the process that goes through and how you can use that in like other jobs. We had Casey telling us all about truckers and how to not piss them off. So you should listen to that.
it
for
was
sure.
so good.
Super helpful. And then Blair talked about teaching overseas. If she's taught both in Korea and Japan English, and so kind of talked about like how you can get into that and that process. The one before that was me and Chaotic talking about queerness in media. I talked about Mass Effect, obviously, and he talked about queer TTRPG horror. It was very fun. We also have starting next Thursday, The Last Caravan, which is a very fun alien e-game. I am still petitioning that we call it The Lost Caravan, a Last Caravan actual play on High Shelf Collective, and really confuse everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Please
I'm
do
hoping
that.
it
I want that
sticks.
more than anything.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it sticks. And then we also have a Mass Effect miniseries coming back up with Casey using the Omega rule set, which he and I and Gavin created. It's use cyberpunk rules, but it is Mass Effectified. It is very, very fun. 10 out of 10. Do recommend. I am biased. Also coming up, we'll have Orpheus, ran by Ronaldus. It's a old school White Wolf game, but it's freaking wild. I'm very excited to see that come together. And Championship Wrestling Memphis, worldwide wrestling game ran by Sin. I think that's like everything coming this month, but just like socials and Discord and all those things and figure it out. I am very hungry and I've said a lot of things. So we are going to throw a raid over to Happy Jack's RPG. And I think they're playing Mage. So we just talked about Orpheus.
World of Darkness.
Go over there and say hey to them, give them all the love and follows, and we will see y'all on the 30th.
See you on the 30th for what will be
hanging.
an interesting
What
session.
what a moment.
Right? By that time, we might have a new
Yeah.
baby coming in. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, Jesus.
accidental.
I don't know if that could be jammed.
I know that's not gonna be. I assure
It's just
you.
too... Yeah, no. Fade to black.
Right.
But up. There it goes. Goodbye.
Bye.